You can answer that question, but before you do, I do want to get through my super chats. I got to make a little money today. Then we are going to get closing statements, and we're going to bring some callers in. There's some people who really want to weigh in on this, and we'll do that for another 20, 30 minutes. Okay, Yinderduck, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Audacity for $5 to say, and then one day, for no reason at all, people voted for Trump. $10 from GBO Farms to say the left is way more violent than the right in the last year. Embassy attacks, Axe Blue donor and Ukraine volunteer trying to kill Trump. Luigi Mangione, Colorado pro-Palestine terror attack. Fuentes attempt at killing him. $20 from Lawson Harrison to say, Wick, I told you months ago the logical conclusion of where the current political reality is headed is toss. What would the panel do or think if Trump goes for a term 3 and the courts find some loophole to okay it? $5 from Origin of Logos to say, what is this? Bring on some actual people who will challenge Destiny on his level.
Wait, America, answer these questions?
Yeah, go ahead, please. It just takes longer if you answer them. Yeah.
Okay. I've got all night. I don't know about you. Trump, dude, okay, if Trump term 3 actually happens, you guys got to actually fight it out. Like, that's
No, they won't. They'll defend it. They'll defend it.
I think I know Destiny likes to place money bets. I'd place a money bet on no Trump term 3 pretty strongly on
I'll bet this, that if there is a Trump term 3, you'd vote for him. $20.
So do you want to take the bet with me now that there's not going to be Trump term 3?
Well, I don't know, because he might die of a stroke or whatever the fuck before. But if there is a Trump term 3, you will vote for him.
And this is why it's great. You were so right when you said, if you think people don't believe what they're saying, bet money on it and they'll run away from it. And you just ran away from it, so that's fine.
Well, wait, shut the fuck up, Dev. The big point is not whether or not he would survive to run term 3. It's that he would circumvent the law and the Republican Party would support him in doing it. That's the whole point of it. Not whether or not he'll live that long. That's the central part of that argument. Why are you acting like the big deal is whether or not we think he'd live long enough to make it there?
I'm not. Whoa. See, no. When did I ever say I don't think Trump's going to live long enough to see term 3? I said Trump term 3 is not going to happen. Meaning, I've seen all the jokes. I've seen all the people saying, "Yeah, Trump 2028, it's going to be great." And I'm calling it for what it is. It's jokes. I'm willing to put money on that Donald Trump is not going to run for re-election in 2028.
Why do you think he's not going to run though? Wait, why do you think he's not going to run for 2028?
Well, answer me yes or no. Are you going to put money on it? Are you going to bet on it? Or are you just going to?
Does it count if he dies or not?
Assume he survives, yeah.
If he dies, the bet is null and void.
It's void, yeah, it's void.
Okay, it's null and void.
Trump is alive.
We're assuming good health, and they're survived, right? Like, so
he's gonna try. I think he'll try if he's still alive. Yeah.
What if? Wait. Okay. The only other possibility is if he has like an actual a full-on stroke or whatever the fuck, the full version of whatever he's had so far, and he's like cognitively impaired, and he's like in a fucking wheelchair or whatever.
We're assuming health comparable to what he has now. He can at least in theory, fulfill his next term, right? There's no stroke, there's no paralysis, there's no nothing of that, right? Cognitive decline.
If he is healthy enough to be president again, yes.
Okay.
I think he'd do it. Yeah, I'll put $20 on it.
$20?
Yep.
Oh man, you're bleeding me dry.
Okay, $20. You heard it here first. We can nail that in. $50 from Alexander.
Just to be clear, I accept. Lawyers here offer acceptance consideration, valid contract. Let me officially just say I accept the offer. Boom, we're on for $20.
Okay, great. We can look at 2028. We'll pull this stream up again, assuming we're all still alive. $50 from Alexander Rin to say the point. Many people on the right have abandoned the idea of coexistence entirely. They don't just want to win elections.
Wait,
they want to eliminate.
If Trump ran again, would you vote for him?
No.
If it was Trump versus Kamala Harris?
No, 100% no. I don't care who the candidate on the other side is. We can do a classic Trump versus Hassan.
Okay, no, okay, all right, just curious. All right, we'll see.
I wouldn't vote for Hassan, but I just wouldn't vote. I would not vote for either.
I definitely wouldn't vote for Hassan.
Okay. Ban books, ban votes, redraw history, jail opponents, target enemies. Thank you for the $50, Alexander Rin. $5 from Exoteric Dichotomy to say, ask Destiny, what is the solution? Are we going to play chicken and actually crash? Civil war? Secession? Collapse? Civility? We have to be better. You want to respond to that real quick, or are you good?
People have bullshit themselves into thinking, largely because of the Republicans who have mind raped everybody, that civil war is the worst outcome. Civil war is not the worst outcome. The one-sided extinction is the worst outcome.
Okay. $20 from Festiva. Destiny should grow a pair instead of sucking a pair. Own it. You are sad the PA guy, not Trump. You know it's a tit for tat world now. Arguing is too late, and what you say will rile up more than Trump. $20 from the Goodman JS. Would you agree that there are more adults who act like children and go to violence instantly rather than talk it out in a mature way? Many people in videos laugh at people dying on the right or attacking people on both sides. $20 from Alexander Rin. Perhaps the first step isn't winning the argument, it's eliminating the foreign interference that's poisoning the conversation. Until then, we may never have a chance at a shared reality, let alone a shared future. $5 from GBO Farms to say Destiny can't distance the left from Hassan when they invited him to the DNC. Mamdani meeting with him. The left is literally terrorism adjacent. $5 from Wit to say, I'm going to be honest, I don't know who any of you are, but Destiny, and I think most of this leftist versus Democrat narrative, etc., is just streamer bait. $50 from Vincent Davino. This is so crazy. The mainstream media do nothing but mislabel the right as Nazis and fascists and dangerous 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Why do you think Charlie was murdered? Because the mentally ill left thought he was evil. $5 from Audacity. He really can't help himself. It's so funny. $15 from Vincent. All the people doing the shooting and the stabbing are on the left. There's no right-wing violence. It's all the left. Trump, Kirk, Reagan, Lincoln, all the violent riots, 99% of them are left in violence. Any responses to this?
True. That sounds absolutely true. Yep, 100%. Definitely not proving my point. Also, I'm curious, where's this quote from Biden saying he knows the Supreme Court will shut him down, but he's going to do a thing anyway?
I'll look for it.
Okay.
While we do super chats.
Sure. $10 from Trey Jones to say, Destiny says, why would the left need to tone down and not the right? Oh, I don't know. A loony left just shot the most prominent voice on the right. Why the fuck would you advocate for the left fight after that, idiot? $5 from Mega Lag to say Destiny is a divisive agent. He's literally contributing to this cultural rot. He needs to log off. $10 from Vincent to say even if they both or the right core of the left are more violent rhetoric, it's the left being physically violent. That's just a fact. $5 from Trey to say Destiny is too stupid to realize he himself has been re-radicalized by the far left. Schwengo for $10 to say, Wick, I know I love you, but Destiny and Dev are 100% right. You can't negotiate with evil and malice. 100 ARS from Real Serious to say, I feel like at this point someone here should just force Destiny to answer. If he thinks someone should Roblox Trump then, because he's not leaving options for anything else.
If I'm not
Should
leaving
someone do
options,
that?
then definitely Trump is not leaving options.
$5 from Audacity. If that were true, she'd be in office. AF for $10 to say in Colombia, after 10 years of political violence that resulted in the death of 200,000 plus, the two main political parties came together and agreed to share power during a period known as the National Front. $5
It took
from
them 10 years to get there, though. That's kind of the point. Is you can't just jump to that point. If people are already fighting, like you're already in it. History's shown that.
Yeah, we're going to $10 and up on this one, gang. $10 from Kay to say the cost of Destiny being right or wrong is civil war. The cost of doing de-escalation and it working is no civil war, and being wrong is civil war. So take the option where no civil war is an option.
That's just not true. If you de-escalate and you're wrong, then you're just eliminated.
$10 from AF to say attempted to overthrow the government, thought the election was going to be rigged, threatened to cut the license of media companies, had nicknames for his opponents, talk about Hugo Chavez. $10 from Gay Ben. We could take every bad tweet ever created by every prominent rightoid, put them together, and it wouldn't equal one Destiny stream. Democracy isn't about being correct, it's about the consent of the governed. $10 from Trey Jones. There's a reason cities aren't boarding up businesses and preparing for mass riots after what happened to Kirk. Same can't be said for Destiny's side. $10 from Landon Stewart. Most of the people laughing aren't Dems. They're non-political people who didn't like Kirk. And the others are progressives. The conflation of every human ever being a Dem is impossible to deal with. $10 from GBO Farms. Name one Dem lawmaker or media person who disavows Antifa. Waltz said that socialism is neighborly, and Bernie went to Cuba and Soviet Union. He is a communist. Yet Fuentes is disavowed on the right. Hopefully you guys can name at least one Dem lawmaker who disavows Antifa.
Well, I could probably Google it, but Antifa hasn't been part of the national conversation for like 10 years? I feel like Antifa was a big thing in 2016. What are we going to talk about the alt-right next or Gamergate?
$10 from Niz to say, screw this, gonna go play TF2. We all let new guy down. $10 from Audacity said Destiny.
Oh, actually, I'm so sorry. Fuck me. I'm a fucking retard. When Biden and Trump were in a debate, didn't Biden immediately disavow Antifa and Trump couldn't disavow the Proud Boys and he said, stand back and stand by? Didn't that happen or am I making that up?
I think if I remember
think
correctly,
Biden said Antifa is an idea, not an organization, which I think is
Yeah,
false. But
he was kind of skirting around it, and if I remember, I think Trump did denounce it. They asked him again. It was kind of like the moderator and Trump were talking over each other, and then Trump just threw in the stand back and stand by. I think that's how it played out. But I think he initially said basically, yeah.
No, he said, "Who do you want me to disavow? Whatever I disavow him." And then he said, "For the Proud Boys, stand back and stand by, because it's these radical leftists." And then the Proud Boys leaders put on Parler that we hear you loud and clear, sir. And then on January 6th, they showed up and they broke into the Capitol. They were the first entrants across all three, the outer two barricades, and the first ones into the Capitol. And the leaders got convicted of seditious conspiracy. And then Trump pardoned all of them. Kind of a pretty bad through line there, I would say.
$10 from
Right,
Audacity
wait, that is a bad through line, right? That Donald Trump refused to condemn those people. Then they publicly acknowledged that they heard him loud and clear. And then they showed up at the Capitol. And then they were the ones that were orchestrating the first break-ins through every barrier and then into the Capitol. And then they were convicted in front of a jury for seditious conspiracy. And then Trump pardoned them, right? For doing a seditious conspiracy to help coup the government. That's a bad through line, right?
Yeah, that is bad through line.
Okay.
I harshly disagree with the pardons for the seditious conspiracy in particular, yes. I will say, though, just as far as we hear you loud and clear, sir, I mean, if you think the president is calling you out and your organization out, then of course I think you're going to jump on that and try and make political hay of like, oh, look, the president, he likes us. He thinks we're great. So I'm not surprised that they would do that. And then...
Yeah, have you ever seen any Antifa leaders say, oh, we feel like Joe Biden hears us loud and clear? Or BLM
like
leaders even saying that?
Well, the whole BLM 2020 was, I think I heard you say with XQC, gosh, I'm sounding like a super fan. With XQC, though, that basically with BLM, the way Biden got elected was by disavowing BLM. And sure, he disavowed the violent rioting the same way that it's so easy when your side is perceived as the one that's causing something bad to say, like today with Charlie Kirk stuff, it'd be like after the Tree of Life synagogue shooting. It's so easy for all Republicans, all conservatives to say, yeah, that's a terrible thing to happen. The more important and interesting discussion is about the underlying, what are the philosophies, what are the ideologies that are fueling these kinds of things. And so, but I disagree, though, that I think Biden got elected by disavowing BLM. In fact, didn't he adjust his campaign promise from I'll have a woman vice president to I'll have a black woman vice president, and I'll put a black woman on the Supreme Court?
I think that might have been the Supreme Court thing, but regardless of if he did a DEI
the central theme of my campaign, too, is also going to be equity. I'll put equity front and center.
Sure, liberals
I feel like he made pretty serious concessions to the BLM ideology that, I mean, you disagree with any of these points?
Yeah, I don't know if he promised a black woman VP pick. I think he mentioned that about the Supreme Court. And
that's not a concession to the BLM ideology?
I think he did it for VP also.
All of the BLM, the whole quote-unquote BLM ideology is not necessarily bad, right? If taken at its face value of.
Well, look how we're just saying we can go back and forth. I want to get through more super chats, but we're shifting the goalpost now away from he disavowed BLM and that's how he won the election.
Wait, wait. Let me go back.
Well, actually, isn't BLM not all bad?
Let me very clearly identify the goalpost. The goalpost was that he disavowed the rioting and the violence, something that Donald Trump can never bring himself to do. Correct?
I don't want to do the clip game, but what you said earlier was not that. You said
okay, then fine.
BLM.
Then I was wrong. Let me readjust my statement. You agree that Biden and Kamala disavowed the violence, and Donald Trump has never disavowed violence from his side, without also bringing up the left or blaming the left or saying it was the left that actually caused it.
Yes, disavowing violence, saying violence is bad. Yes, that's something they both did. Kamala Harris also is tweeting out links to raise money for bail for rioters that were engaged in this violence.
Yeah, so you're doing the game. So Kamala Harris retweeted one bail fund link. What's wrong with a bail fund link?
And I'm saying the point I'm trying to make is words are one thing, actions are another. This is the whole point of this entire discussion. The reason we're here today is to talk about, do the words match up with the actions? And the concern and the frustration that the right has with the left is that, yes, they will come out and say violence is bad when they're not also making this about the scourge of gun violence, which is what I saw a lot of leaders making the point about that too, making the political point about gun violence, which I hope we can agree this is cringe to make this anything about gun violence when we're talking about a hunting rifle and not any sort of these other contested weapons. But that point aside, the point of this entire discussion, the reason we're all here today, is when words don't match up with the actions. And the right is frustrated because, yes, when the flashpoints happen and people get killed, the left will come out and say, oh, well, we condemn violence. Violence is bad. Political violence is bad, which is right. That is the right and accurate thing to say. But what are we doing to adjust the behavior that then leads to the violence? I understand your take is it's all on Trump. It's all on the right. We just have to agree to disagree.
Okay, so
on
now that you just lied for 2 minutes and just said the most retarded thing I've ever heard in my life, when you say that the words don't match the actions, I agree with you 1,000%. The actions of Kamala Harris was one time she retweeted a bail fund for people in Minnesota that got arrested by the cops. The overwhelming amount of the BLM protests were peaceful. There were violent ones. They did have to disavow the violent ones. They did do that. When they came into that, yes, that is the one picture. Yeah. Congratulations. Do you acknowledge how many Republicans today say that the entire January 6th insurrection was caused by the 36 confidential informants that were supposedly on the grounds that happened, that it was a Fedsurrection, that had nothing to do with the fact that Donald Trump called those people there, riled them up for a year, saying the entire election would be rigged, and so they had to fight like hell to take their country back, otherwise they were going to lose it, and that they had to march to the Capitol to give Congress the power that they needed to do the right thing, which was, by the way, was insurrect the government, right? That Pence, for the first time in all of U.S. history, the counting of the electoral vote was actually delayed. These are the actions. As they broke into the Capitol building, Donald Trump sat on the couch, and while he watched all these people invade the Capitol, claimed that he didn't have the power to stop it because the mayor didn't want him to, despite the fact that today, apparently, he has the power to unilaterally deploy the National Guard to all of D.C. if he wants to. And he sat there on the couch making calls to congressmen, including fucking McCarthy, and made fun of them, saying that, well, maybe people are mad because you're not cooing the government like I wanted you to, right? A president who, I think maybe the first time in the U.S. history, ran again as president with a different VP pick because he almost got his last one fucking killed. And after all of that happened, he pardoned all of those people. How many people did Biden pardon as part of the BLM riots?
Well,
that's the difference. When you talk about actions, that's the difference. All you have is meaningless fucking speech. But when you look at the actions, it's clearly a difference on both sides. You can equivocate all you want, but everybody knows you're lying.
Okay, we got.
Yeah, I'll just hop in really quick. So Gen Z, I actually agree with you that the Kamala retweeting the bail fund is bad, but everything Destiny just said was completely true, and it's about 10,000 times worse.
Okay. $10 from Audacity to say, Destiny, I remember you vehemently championing trusting the government and its institutions from 2021 onward, and now you're mad we're doing it? Ugh, come on, man.
That guy's epic. That's true. Destiny, I thought you said you wanted to trust the government. Why wouldn't you trust when the Nazi government was in existence or the Soviet Union was in existence? LOL. Yes, Donald Trump is fundamentally damaging and destroying the government because he doesn't like how the government functions. Everybody else admitted this earlier when he fired fucking Barr, even though there seemed to be confusion on whether or not it was because he wanted to commit crimes or not. But yes, the first time that Trump was in office, his cabinet was literally an all-star cabinet compared to the fucking retards we have right now. The Indian dude talking about Valhalla because some conservative activist got shot, whose last words were gang violence, and who said that some people maybe needed to be sacrificed in the altar of Second Amendment. Yeah, there's a difference.
Okay, $10 from Malevolent Vet to say, question for the panel. If MAGA wins in 2026, will your opinions change? Or should liberals, Democrats, and the moderate left be the bigger person until 2028?
They win electorally?
Yeah.
As a result of tensions ramping up? I mean, your country's cooked at that point, dude. Just call it a day. It's over.
Okay, $10 from Gen X to say, how can you be an ATI and Trump supporter and support Trump? Oh, how can you be an attorney and support Trump? Sorry. But not even bothered to look at the corrupt and unconstitutional things he is doing. My God, you swore an oath to the Constitution. Targeting opponents is unethical. 100 ARS from Real Serious to say, if Destiny genuinely thinks there is no peaceful resolution, then brother, unironically, you need to pivot to being a gun tuber and convince progressives to be pro Second Amendment if you want to be useful. $100 from Audacity to say, I can actually feel the temperature being turned down right now. Thank God we are all safer right now, and all it took was one more debate about January 6th. And $20 from Gelatinous Rube to say, we can do the grievance game all day long. Payback for BLM, payback for Summer of Love, payback for Kirk. De-escalation is no longer an option because everyone has legitimate grievances. Split the country or else. $10 from Radio Jack.
Just to be clear, I'll say this a million times. Anybody here is welcome to disagree with me. If everybody on the left told everyone on the right, hey, maybe we should all calm down, if the right agreed, it would happen. The right won't do that. The right will not agree. They will never be the ones to say, hey, all of us should chill. They won't do that.
But the problem is just, it's so easy. Sorry, it's going to take 15 seconds, I promise. It's just so easy to, when you're the side that's perceived as being the aggressors in this very moment, it's so easy for you to be the one to say, hey, everybody, it's like when you punch somebody in the face and now you're saying, oh, everybody, let's just all chill out. It'd be like after Tree of Life Synagogue, we're talking about, it's so easy for the right to be the ones to be like, hey, this guy's not with us. Everyone, let's just all chill out. Cool. When in the meantime, and maybe that's not a good one.
No, I agree. That's great. You just made all the Civil War arguments that Wick was chastising me for earlier. Cool. Okay.
Look, there are accelerations on the left too, and also foreign accelerationists who are pushing this. So even if the right just agreed, I think things would calm down, but there would still be the threat of acceleration being pushed into the American electorate.
It would be significantly decreased. Right now, there is one side in this country that will not de-escalate. It is the conservative side, led by the President of the United States, who was reelected.
$10 from Radio Jack to say, as someone who does in real life political work in red areas, there's an actual underlying threat of violence. How comparable is it in blue areas? I'm not sure. Okay, with that said, I do want to get.
Sorry, can I make just one point?
Yeah, we're gonna have closing statements right now, and then we're gonna bring in some callers for about 20 minutes, and then we'll call it a day.
Okay, but before closing statements, Wick, I'm sorry. There's one super chat. It's $5, but he's from one of my viewers. I want to answer him directly. Okay, I already have it. It's Bill Skinner, and he says the left has engaged in large scale political violence since the summer of love. The right is talking about self defense. These are not equatable. I'm gonna talk to you, Bill Skinner, because I know that you watch my content and you like me. I want you to understand something. Okay, you know I'm a history guy. If you look at stuff like Italy's Years of Lead, if you look at the red and white purges in Spain and Portugal and Argentina and all these places, there's something that you'll see, okay? The left has more individual instances. So the left will riot more. There'll be like more days of rioting. But when the right commits violence, it kills way more people. Like the left will like shoot one or two people here and there. And, maybe a few dozen will die. The right sets off car bombs, okay? The right commits mass shootings. The left's violence is spread out over months, so you think it's happening all the time. When the right gets violent during these events, it's like one day and a bunch of people die. And ultimately, the right kills more people. So I just want to explain to you, Bill Skinner, because I know that you're a reasonable guy. This is why you think the left does more violence, but why they actually don't, okay?
Okay. Closing statements, and we'll get some callers. There's some callers that I really want to get in here, and we're going to do it one at a time, gang. So I'm not going to bring you all at once, right? But we'll do it. Tali, why don't you start us off, and then we'll just go around the room, and we'll be good.
Sure. Listen, I don't know how far we got in this conversation. I am extremely disturbed and concerned about the state of our country and the increase in political violence. Yes, what we saw with Charlie Kirk, people are using as an example of this sort of left versus right violence. I don't know. I was not paying attention to the news the several hours before this stream, so I'm not sure if we have more information about the shooter and if he was definitely an anti-fascist or if he was definitely a groyper or something like this. But the problem of political violence seems to extend beyond just these lines, right? We have people murdering healthcare CEOs and BlackRock CEOs and people who happen to work in their offices in broad daylight. We have people murdering embassy workers, I guess not in broad daylight, I guess in the I don't know, something in the early evening or something like this. This is a real problem, and I think we all should be pushing to de-escalate the violence. I understand the tactic when we're talking about rules of engagement and rules that you can use in government, like fighting back on gerrymandering and things like this, and fighting back on the filibuster and not allowing the other side to just have all of the tools and refusing to use them on principle. But when the tools we're talking about are guns and knives and car bombs and murdering each other, I do think it's incumbent on everyone to try to tamp that down and to vocally stand against these things. I agree with Wick. I think the people that you're looking to convince is the voters, the people who are disgusted and scared about the violence that they're seeing in the streets, not necessarily the talking heads on the other side of the aisle. But I agree with Kay's super chat earlier. If the possibility of if there is a possibility, if there is a route we can take that ends not in civil war, I think it's incumbent on all of us to push for that route before just doubling down on the violence.
Okay, thank you for being here. Gen Z.
Yeah, no, once again, I appreciate the opportunity for being here. I agree with a lot of what Tally said about, obviously this is unsustainable. I disagree in thinking that not with you, Tally, just with our premise earlier about the only two options left are, I guess, extinction or civil war. I think we have more than those two ways out. We've had prior periods of bad times, both in this country and abroad, that we can look to as examples. So I think there is ways out of it. The real unfortunate part of this whole situation is Charlie Kirk was one of those people that was trying to push through in the name of free speech and open debate and trying to win hearts and minds, and made himself into the most effective ground game organizer for the entire conservative movement. And the fact that he's the one that got targeted is just makes this whole situation so much worse. And it's going to lead to people who are basically, we've already seen them say, it's like, we tried with Charlie, and we see what you did. Now it's our turn. And then the cool epic pose with the gun. And so I still think a lot of it is LARPing and cosplaying. I don't think we're on the path to civil war. But something certainly has to change. I think it's a mutual de-escalation that has to happen between the right and the left. It's unfortunate. I disagree with people on the right saying it is all the left. Someone made a question earlier about that. I think that's wrong. I disagree with people on the left saying it is all the right. I think we all play a part in this, and yeah, we just have to recognize that we play a part. I think the call or the idea that this is just fringe left that we're talking about that says this stuff. This is what I want to get into earlier, but we kind of got off the point, was this fire poll of 75,000 college students that said that 70% of college students are okay with shouting down speakers, 50% of college students are okay with physically blocking people from going to see speakers, and 30% of college students are okay with physical force and violence to shut down a speaker from speaking. This is not insignificant. This is not 6 follower accounts on Blue Sky that we're talking about. This is broad swath, huge amounts of people that are creating permission structures for violence. And then it culminates and metastasizes into these situations like we find ourselves in now. And I think it's wrong to just hand wave it away as, well, when one side, it's just purely relegated to the fringe, while it's the entire other side, every elected official, every pundit and whatnot. When we can go down the list, this last thing I'll say, the challenge was made earlier as to, if you can name me one mainstream conservative pundit, large pundit, that is actually saying it's time for everyone to de-escalate, it will take back all the points. I know you're not going to take back all the points, but whether we're looking at someone like Ben Shapiro, or like Brad Palumbo, Coleman Hughes, these are, and there's plenty more that maybe are not mainstream conservative, but they're
Nick
these,
Fuentes did recently as well.
Oh, okay, Nick Fuentes.
Palumbo and Hughes are not mainstream conservative figures. Sorry.
Well, and maybe the point here is that there's tons of people that maybe used to be left. They call themselves in the center. I believe your take on that is that these are all fake centrists that are actually all on the right. But either way, these are figures that conservatives look to for thought. Well, okay, you can talk about how we're going to define conservative. It's going to take us down another rabbit hole. But I think there are major people in the political space, sorry, I'm wrapping it up, that are not what we're saying they are. There's lots of people calling for de-escalation all around. You heard it tonight from both of our right-wing champions here, and it seemed to have been met with basically, we're either lying or don't mean it, and we're just on the path to civil war. So I'd love to talk more about some of the specific cases like presidential criminal immunity or the hush money case. For anyone watching, YouTube, Gen Z Attorney, Twitter, the Gen Z Attorney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just real quick, because I missed a $50 super chat, and this will be real quick. Hope for $50 says, question for Destiny, do you think blue and moderate districts should start forming internal defense packs and prep for possible escalations, or is that paranoid overkill?
I think that'd be base as fuck. I think that Newsom should have activated his whole National Guard before Trump came in and tried to steal some of it. Yeah, I think the states should be more serious about it and should prepare for an invasion that Donald Trump keeps saying is going to come to the Democratic cities and states. Yeah.
Okay. Dev, please.
Thanks for having me. It was nice to meet everyone here who I haven't met before, which I think is just you, Gen Z.
Nice to meet you too.
I hope you're not mad or anything about it getting a little bit heated.
No, of course not.
I pretty much I agree that, like, you obviously disavow all this stuff, and everyone here disavows all this stuff. But the complaint isn't really towards you; it's toward everyone right now who is calling for civil war and wanting to escalate things further. And I understand that it was a right winger who got shot, but this didn't just start with Charlie Kirk getting killed, right? Like there's been a tit for tat ongoing now for quite a while. And I just don't see right wing politicians turning down the heat. I see Democrats doing it. I don't see Republicans doing it. I don't mean randoms on Blue Sky. I don't mean idiots on YouTube. I mean elected officials. The turning down is only coming from one side. That has to change. If it doesn't change, this will just continue.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
Thank you for being here. Destiny, last word, and then we can do a little open. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think you should ever trust conservatives or centrists when they say they want to turn down the violence. They don't. All of the criticism is always aimed at a single side. I don't know if the Gen X guy has a Twitter. I couldn't find it. Tally's had plenty to say about the horrible killing of Charlie Kirk, retweeted Dennis Prager. Absolutely nothing to say about the killing of the Minnesota senator. All of these people's criticism is always aimed at one side. You should view these people as ideologically opposed to you. The people who pretend that they would have voted for the left if they would have just conceded on one or two things, they're always lying about that. Anytime you've got somebody who's willing to vote for somebody while they'll concede thing after thing after thing after thing after thing about horrible stuff that Donald Trump has done, but they say there's just one thing the left needs to change, these are ideological enemies who are trying to poison your side. Don't believe it. They're lying about all of it. Nothing that you could do would ever win their vote. They're probably single issue voters on some retarded shit anyway. Yeah, right now, if in the United States Donald Trump came out and Donald Trump were to literally do a 10-minute address to the nation and say, hey guys, listen, everybody's out of control. We all need to kind of bring it down. Every single party in the United States would be able to bring down the temperature on everything going on. Biden did this over and over and over and over again, and all you see are people with less gray matter in their brain than fucking RFK Jr. Talking about how Biden was actually standing in front of the White House calling on all MAGA people to be disavowed and blah, blah, blah. Even though Biden in that speech literally qualified it saying, I don't think everybody is MAGA. I don't think the majority of them are. I think the problem are the people who are denying the election, which is true. It is a problem. And the majority of Republicans today do deny the results of the 2020 election. They even say 2024 was rigged. It's not good. All of this coming from one place. They never asked that side to turn it down, only the other side, because they want to see the other side made to go extinct. That's what their goal is. That's why their rhetoric is like this. Nobody would do anything different if they had that goal. So you should treat them like that.
Okay, well, that's a wrap for the closed portion of the panel. Let's bring on Soy Pill. Welcome to the show. Once he undeafens. Hopefully he will. Oh, there he goes. He's here. He's with us. What you got for us, sir? And we're going to go quickly through these, by the way.
His internet's not working. Jeez.
Uh-oh. Okay, well, maybe we'll have to bring him on after. Okay, well, in that case...
No, I'm here. Is my camera not turning on?
It's not.
No.
Give us what you got, though.
Okay. Destiny, I apologize. You had to talk to people who don't believe in January 6th, because I think I can just go ahead and concede we have the exact same views of everything on the right wing. That's not what I wanted to talk about. This idea of like not de-escalating is very confusing to me, because I don't know what you're trying to advocate for. Like when people on the right wing right now are calling for like more violence, we're going to war, like meeting them where they are in terms of playing dirty and saying, let's gerrymander California to make sure they can't steal seats makes perfect sense to me. Let's talk shit. Let's make jokes. Let's like absolutely not like go high because they went low. What do you like? Where does this lead when we're meeting them when they're talking about this violent rhetoric?
Sure. Two things. I would say very simply tit for tat. The other side can't feel like they can operate violently with impunity. Number one, my question to you, you can respond to one and two. My question for you, number two, when the South wanted to secede, should we have allowed them to do that?
No, absolutely not.
And going to war was an okay way to stop that?
Right.
Okay.
But are we saying that what the right is doing right now is akin to seceding?
It's approaching that, yeah. When Donald Trump talks about sending the military to states to take over law enforcement things from them, when Gavin Newsom is making a speech inside and the federal officers are ordered to be stationed outside, it's not like a direct path towards what that looks like?
Right. So if you're talking about like abusing power and authority to maybe like get some things done in certain ways, like I'm not opposed to...
No, hold
Gavin
on.
Newsom.
I'm not talking about abusing power and authority. I'm talking about Donald Trump, the commander-in-chief of our armed forces, the president of the United States, stealing the National Guard from governors in states and then deploying them against those states in order to do things that he feels like the states aren't doing. Only blue states in a politically partisan way. Yeah.
For that exact thing, right? Like, how do you match people there? Like, what is the match? What is like? Because
what does the Second Amendment say? To quote Trump, we can quote the not quoted part of the Second Amendment, which is state militias. All I'm saying is that you cannot lay down and die. Right? It has to be a tit for tat.
I agree, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
The difference between like...
So what I would call for, this is what I'm calling for. I call for Donald
trying...
Trump to lower the temperature. I call for Donald Trump should say, hey, chill, stop.
Right, but you and I both know he's never going to do that. So what are you actually advocating for?
I advocate for everyone on the left to say, say that the temperature needs to go down when Donald Trump does. That's what we should all say.
Well, what's the point if you know Donald Trump's not going to do that? Like, what are you actually saying? When you say meet them where they are, this is the prisoner's dilemma. We have to do exactly what they're doing. What are we doing? Like when I say that, I say, okay, yeah, absolutely. If Gavin Newsom is going to be like,
sure, then just what I said, tit for tat.
Fine,
in prisoner's dilemma, what's the worst outcome for you?
That you go to jail for like life because you didn't agree for the 5 years that you would both get, right?
Yeah. Prisoner's dilemma, worst outcome is not the Civil War part. It's not where both of you betray each other. The worst outcome in the prisoner's dilemma is when they defect and you cooperate, right?
Right. Again, so this is why I'm trying to get this out of you is like, what are you actually advocating for to meet something on the right? Like if Matt Walsh is saying, let's commit violence, let's crack down, let's do some insane shit. Are you saying the left should also be saying this?
I mean, I don't know. It seems like everybody's getting violent now, so I don't know if the left has to say anything like that. I'm just saying what I would say right now. What I said is what you should say. You should say what you should say what Elizabeth Warren is saying, which is I'm not going to say shit about turning down the temperature until Donald Trump says shit about turning down the temperature. That's it.
Okay, but to me that's a meaningless statement. Because
how is that a meaningless statement?
Because no, prescriptively, like, what do you actually add? Because when I hear you saying this, oh, it's the prisoner's dilemma, and I'm looking at how bad the right wing is right now, it's like, oh shit, are you saying we should take up arms and prepare for the actual civil fucking war right now?
I think you should take up arms to defend yourself. I think you should be ready to do that for sure.
But what are you actually advocating for in terms of meeting some of these crazy fucking like Laura Loomer, Valentina Gomez people on the right wing? Like, I don't think that we should be saying like, yep, we should start executing these people. Yeah, we should start rounding them up. And like, I get the education camps. Like, this seems like a total deviation from what I would advocate for, which is we're not going to back down. We are not going to stop fighting. But that doesn't mean we necessarily have to match every single thing that they're doing. Toning down the rhetoric is one thing. Like, hey, yeah, let's not cause for violence. That doesn't mean you have to, all right, yeah, like step on my fucking back and do whatever you want. Like, I'm trying to get you to clarify what you're actually prescriptively asking the left wing to do. Because if it's already what they're doing, Gavin Newsom, Elizabeth Warren, that does not seem that crazy. But that's not what is coming out of your mouth. I just said before. A lot of people are reading it.
Well, read it however you want then. If you don't like how you're reading it for me, then tell the right to chill it out.
I mean, I don't want to have to be the silencer on the Destiny filter saying, hey, he doesn't mean be violent, guys. He just means what the left's already doing, which is, if that is what you mean, cool.
You don't have to mean anything. You can direct them to any video. I'll say the exact same thing. What should the left do? The left should say Donald Trump needs to turn it down. And until he does, fuck it. You don't say anything about any violence or whatever. Whatever's happening is happening. I'm not telling people to take up arms and go kill anybody. I'm just saying whatever happens is happening. And that's the state of our country right now is what Donald Trump wants it to be. And right now, Donald Trump wants it to be violent.
Okay, would this be a prescription? Would this be a prescription from you?
So the housekeeping thing, since your camera just isn't working, so you're going to have to give us your last thing, and then we're going to cycle out, okay?
You're going to cycle me out in the middle of my role?
Are you in the middle of your role?
I'm in the middle of my role because you can't see me.
Finish the clip.
No clip needed. You shouldn't even be here. You have nothing valuable to add to this conversation.
Okay,
so Destiny,
yeah, sure.
Yeah, you don't even believe in January 6th, dude. Just whatever. Anyway, Jesse, so are you advocating for it when someone on the left is to go, like, let's say this Charlie Kirk thing comes out. Turns out this guy was a hardcore lefty. He was like, yep, everyone, I was totally like invigorated by this and all these left-wing points, and this was the defend the trans community. You're saying we should not denounce that. All the people that you used and showed, look how much better the left wing is doing. President Obama, Joe Biden, all these people are denouncing this. Even George W. Bush, I think, did it. Donald Trump, I'm not trying to say we have to hold ourselves to the Donald Trump standard, but are you saying, oh no, we shouldn't denounce that?
You queue up the denouncement and you say, I'm ready to denounce it. Let me hear Donald Trump denounce violence on his side first.
What does that do?
It makes the other side calm their shit down. What do you mean, what does it do?
No, it doesn't. Donald Trump is not going to back down.
If it doesn't, then it wouldn't do anything if we do it either. So then fuck it. Easy. You queue it up.
Okay,
you queue it up. You don't like my answer. I've given you my answer. You don't like it. I don't know what you're trying to get another answer to me. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, you queue it up.
Because it doesn't seem like you're actually advocating for anything right now.
I am advocating for it. I'm advocating for you to pressure the right to tell their side to stop being fucking violent. The fact that that's not a reasonable request.
When you and I both know that they're not going to do it.
I think they will eventually. Or we go to war.
No,
those are the only two options. They either do it or we end up, I guess, all fucking killing each other. That's it. I mean, what do you mean?
No, because the difference is I, like Wick, I believe that there's tons of off-ramps. Like, for example, if Donald Trump dies of a fucking stroke, I think they're just going to lose a ton of momentum. If, they say, oh, violence, or this is very similar to what they were doing post-Trump assassination. And yet post that, like, absolutely nothing escalated to a degree that I think anyone is expecting when people are crying out civil war, because it's, they're fucking pussies. Everyone forgets. And this stuff like goes into the wayside. Like, if you truly, truly believe, like, if I don't believe this, that we are in an existential moment in such that we cannot solve this electorally, then yeah, I would tell people, yeah, I don't even need to de-escalate. You should go get arms and we should go fight in the streets, but we're not even close to that yet.
Well, I don't think they've said that yet, have they? If they say that, then maybe I'll start saying that. You just say what they say.
Okay, so right. If there's... What?
No, can continue.
Yeah, if they're saying things such as, "Hey, let us crack down. Let's throw these people in camps. Let's like take guns away from trans people." It's like, okay, are we going to start advocating for that, or are we just saying, "Hey, are we going to say I'm not doing stochastic terrorism, but I'm not going to denounce people that do a terrorism until you do it"? Like, what is this accomplishing if one, you and I both acknowledge this is not going to change their minds, and two, in your prisoner's dilemma, you've got people on the right who are calling for violence, and then people on the left who are meeting them there, but then all of these people in the middle who are not part of this prisoner's dilemma. dilemma, who are like the 66% of people, I guess, according to Pew Research, who says politics is way too volatile right now and are screaming and begging for a fucking solution. And now an entire side of people are like, actually, no, there's nothing for you to look out for. Everyone is extreme. We're all calling for violence. We will refuse to denounce it. Like,
then the democracy is dead. If that's how retarded people are, then the experiment has failed. People shouldn't be allowed to vote freely. And then we go to the next form of whatever fucking government is. Either the socialists are happy, we move to that, or we do some type of monarchy or authoritarian shit.
We're nowhere close to that. You
keep saying that. Right? People keep saying that, but the situation is getting more and more fucking insane, no? Have you met Charlie Kirk before? We just watched a dude literally get assassinated on video 2 days ago. It's crazy.
I acknowledge that you and I are not going to disagree on a single thing about how crazy the right wing is. What I'm asking you is, like, what do you, if you think the only way to like combat this right now is to pressure them into, like, imagine like shaming the right wing into like toning down violence when we both know that's not going to happen. And maybe it could happen if left wingers do enough violence and we say, well, we'll tone it down when you do. Like, what is this? Where does this get us? What is going to happen after this?
Then eventually people either tone it down or we go to full on fucking conflict, I guess. What is your where does your situation? Where does your situation get us if we constantly disavow and the right just keeps amping it up?
If they get more violent and they lose the election, then it doesn't.
No. They win the election. They win the election because what do people always say? I bet you've even said it. The left is feckless. The left doesn't do anything. The left is weak. Let's say that they keep amping it up and the left doesn't respond. Let's say that Donald Trump, which he's kind of geared up to do, I don't know if he'll actually fucking do it. If you would ask me a year ago, I'd say fuck no. Now I'm not sure. Let's say Donald Trump doesn't find a way to fuck with the election next year, right? And let's say they find a way to keep whatever majority they need. They really don't need fuck all with Congress because it's not like Trump listens to fucking Congress anyway. And everything keeps ramping up on the right. What is the outcome there?
Yeah, obviously, if we get to the point where it's like, oh, the fucking right wing is escalating, they're seizing power, Trump runs for a third term, he turns off the fucking elections, like,
so they already escalated, they're already seizing power. Okay, so then you and me have the same position. We just haven't gone far enough yet, right? We have the same position. They just haven't gone far enough yet. So what's the line for you?
Yes. Well, the line for me is not where we are now, where I think there's obviously a way that we can electorally win both the midterms and the next election.
Tell me what the line is for you.
The line is where it's like, there is no electoral outcome where this ever matters, so we need to fight back and be violent about it. But we're just not in that moment right now.
Okay, so if in 2026, if they start fucking with the vote, so for instance, they have done this a little bit, like when Congress wrote a letter to Texas saying, hey, we need you to wipe off 5 of your districts. If other states start falling in line with that, of wiping away districts.
If I believe the courts are so fucked that if he does an executive order, ban mail-in votes, shuts down the polling stations, and it's like there is literally no path forward.
The courts can't save you. My dude, he tried to right away naturalize birth with an executive order. Why? The courts can't save you proactively here. The
courts literally can, because we have TROs on certain electoral executive orders that he's doing right now. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this is not a dire situation.
My dude, the courts just got rid of the injunction. What are you talking about? The courts are literally fighting on substance.
The idea that if you think that there's no pressure to fighting back against what Trump's doing and anything in the system right now, which is very weird coming from you, because like I don't think that you believe in this, like, oh, the establishment is completely feckless and they'll never be able to get anything done. There's nothing we can do about it. Like, this seems so black-pilled and doomer. Like, yeah, if we're there, absolutely, I'm gonna start forming my little military militia, but we're nowhere close to the. I mean, okay, don't get me wrong.
Listen, this is why I'm black-pilled. This is why I'm black-pilled. This is why I'm black-pilled. Donald Trump this morning on Fox and Friends, okay, was asked, what should we do? Or what people say that they're worried or whatever. What do you think about bringing the country back together? And Donald Trump said, I don't care about bringing the country back together. Okay.
Sure.
You hear me say that, right?
Yeah.
Gen Z and Tally, has Donald Trump done enough yet for you to have voted for Kamala instead?
No.
That's the point, right? So yeah, it's fucked. The shit is so fucked.
Okay. I would agree with you 100% if Gen Z was every single voter in the middle and the independent. Gen Z, we can both acknowledge is a fucking retard. Tally, I've also called this for the same thing, unless you disavow and say you wouldn't vote for Trump anymore. I think there are so many people, like, let's put it this way. My parents don't know who the fuck Charlie Kirk is. A lot of people don't know who the fuck Charlie Kirk is. So they're hearing this and they're like, what's going on? What's going on? If Dem politicians are now coming out and matching Donald Trump's rhetoric, if that's what you're advocating for, like Dem politicians coming out and saying, hey, you know what? No, this is the right's problem, in the same way that he's like, yeah, after this shooting, I'm going to crack down on the left wing. That's fucking insane, because these people who have no idea what the fuck is going on with a Charlie Kirk assassination are now going to see like the politicians they otherwise would have supported falling into the same fascist rhetoric that Trump is, and like, where does that get us? Those people are not going to keep voting.
These people already think the left wing are doing that, though, because that's what the right keeps saying.
No, I'm talking about my progressive liberal parents. I'm not talking about independent.
Bro, those people were lost 4 years ago. Like, people are online. People know this shit. People watch this shit. I've had normie friends message me and fucking.
This is online pilled as fuck. There's a reason why I'm going to go home tomorrow or whatever and talk to my parents. I'm going to be like, who the fuck is Charlie?
They're going to have no idea that Charlie Kirk, the guy who's made over 300 college campus visits, who's raised like fucking $500 million, the guy who's calling Donald Trump and has him appear on stage at an event. None of them have any fucking idea what, like, this guy is one of the most popular influencers in the United States.
Dude, you're vastly overestimating the fact that most people are not as politically tuned in as you and I are. Like, not even fucking close. The people do not know who this guy is. Like, this is such a like online position to a degree. Like, if you asked like people that are hyper online, like people that I talk to that make YouTube videos, they don't even know the fucking difference between like Matt Walsh and like Michael Knowles.
There are going to be people who don't know. Sure, there are people that are that unplugged, but we can't rely on those people to save us anyway. Because it's not like they're going to be voting.
They're the majority of the voters.
Yeah, but they're not going to be voting. You're going to tell me that those people don't know who Charlie Kirk is, but they're going to know when Matt Walsh points out that a radical trans activist on Twitter.
Know when Joe Biden comes out and say we have to go after the right wing in like a violent, like fascist way that like.
I never said we have to say we go to. Like, I'm saying what I'm saying is that what they need to say is they need to say we don't disavow until the right does. That's a super easy ask.
You don't think there's like a huge swath of like not tuned in voters who, if they saw Joe Biden say I will not disavow like a terrorist on the left wing, that would push them away from Joe Biden?
Then our country's fucked and we deserve to go to whatever the next stage is, because that's fucking retarded.
That's the thing. Our country's not fucked. It's not that fucked.
What you're talking about is fucking retarded. You keep talking about all these fucking retarded games we have to play. Well, we have two actual retards here that we have to pretend are normal adults. You're talking about how to politically maneuver an environment where there's a guy driving us towards civil war, and you've got fucking dipshit on the left that apparently doesn't know any legal event that's happened in the past 10 years to start being a lawyer, and you got a fucking Israeli Jew on the right who only cares about trans issues, and you're talking about how do we perfectly message on the left while the president of the United States talks about driving the civil war. This is fucking retarded. This is retarded, and you are retarded, and I'm tired of acting like everybody has to be treated like a fucking retard. It's insanity to me. It's actually insane to me.
Holy shit! It's a bare minimum.
Excuse me, Mr. Moderator. Are you fighting now?
We're going to. It's the bare minimum thing to say, hey, we disavow assassinations on political targets.
And the president of the United States can't fucking do it. The president can't do it.
Do you not? Okay,
we can.
Please, like in good faith, answer me this. Do you not see that there's a potential, like, huge loss of voters on the left if they see now, like, a real equivalence between the left-wing politicians being okay with terrorist attacks, like, and they wouldn't feel like a little disenfranchised? I like the people that I'm describing,
only
not the fucking retards that don't care about gender. Hold on, let me just finish.
I agree. Yes, there is a potential problem if the liberals are weak and cucked and gay. The liberals need to stand up and take a firm position on it. I think you could very easily say that. I think you should make the government shut down about that when the budget comes up. You should say, hey, we are not going to fund the government unless Trump makes one of our conditions. Trump needs to make a 5-minute speech saying all political violence in the country needs to end. And you know what? If that plays worse for the liberals, if liberals go, oh my God, Democrats are demanding the president disavow political violence, I need to go vote for a fucking conservative now. Then fuck it, bro. Find me the sickest fucking SS uniform and I'll sign up for whatever guard tower, concentration camp, whatever. I don't care. All right? Fuck it. Dude, give me a gun. I'll man the post. Whatever.
What you just said is a far cry from what I think you were saying like 5 minutes ago.
No,
right?
I wasn't saying that 5 minutes ago. You were just spamming the same retarded shit saying, what do you want to do? What do you want to say? War? Say kill somebody. Say kill somebody. I said a million times you should do. Say, I don't disavow shit until Trump does. That's easy.
Yeah, but yeah, let's shut down the government until Trump disavows, like, you know, stochastic terrorism is a perfectly good example of like this.
Not stochastic terrorism, terrorism.
Or terrorism, whatever. Excuse me. Yes, thank you, because he's being the stochastic terrorist. But yes, if you're saying let's shut down the government, let's play fucking dirty, let's withhold funding, like, yeah, all of these things are things I'm totally okay with. That is not like if we don't do this, we're de-escalating. In fact, if anything, this is at least like halfway as bad as they're doing. Like when Gavin Newsom's redistricting, he's not doing it unilaterally. He's literally saying, hey, people, you should vote on this. What I'm saying is that's a far cry away. In fact, that is what people want. I think that's what we need to do right now. I think that's going to invigorate the left wing. But if you're then saying, okay, and then also we have to match them on the rhetoric, which is very different from let's fight them, let's go as hard as we can. That's very different from saying, yeah, we don't disavow terrorists. That's completely fucking different.
You have, when one side wants to fight, you have two options. You can either meet it or you can exceed it. Okay? You cannot de-escalate.
Why?
You cannot de-escalate. Because you can't de-escalate. If somebody comes up to rape you and you just sleep, you say yes. I'm just saying, I just want you to be clear that when you're talking about, what I'm talking about is not escalation. Tit for tat is not escalation, okay?
No, it's escalation from the Democratic rhetoric of not doing shit for 10
That's
years.
fine. If the Democratic rhetoric can...
This is finally them fighting
That's fine.
harder,
And if
right?
the Democratic rhetoric goes all the way back to where it was before, whatever, you don't de-escalate at all. If anything, it might even get worse. There's a reason why MAD only works when everybody has nukes, right? It doesn't work if one person disarms.
Again, Wait, no, this is because this is what I'm talking about. This is a spectrum, right? This is not a dichotomy. Right. I'm not saying we have to fucking disarm and do nothing, and we have to be like, oh, we're the better party, and we can't say mean jokes. Like, you and I literally were on the same team of a fucking debate saying, yes, let's fucking joke about these assholes. The difference is when you say, let's fight, let's shut down the government, let's redistrict, like, these are all escalations, which I agree with, which we need to do to fight back because this shit is fucking insane. It is potentially existential. It's not so far that we need to meet them on the level of let's endorse political terrorists on our side.
I mean,
like,
maybe not for you yet, but for some people, I mean, like, it's cool for us because it doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day, I guess, right? But the Supreme Court just said that if you go to LA and there's a brown dude doing agriculture, you could fucking ask him for his papers, right? They can start rounding up and deporting random fucking people. I know it's a joke because fuck Hispanics. I agree. Okay, I'm racist too, I guess. Whatever the fuck. If that's the laugh, if that's the position, right? For how many people is fucking trans healthcare banned for now? And again, these people are all jokes. Who the fuck cares? We're white and base. I get it. But at some point, it's going to get to us. At some point, it's going to be, oh shit, I can't get my certain type of medication anymore because RFK just banned fucking SSRIs or ADHD drugs. And then at some point,
you're preaching the choir.
Okay,
I agree with all of this. The difference is not that I don't think any of that is like the worst shit ever. Some people, are literally dying, like we said, and the fact that we're brushing off USA deaths is fucking wild to me. But it doesn't matter. That's besides the point. Like, the idea that somehow any of that would be helped by saying we're not going to disavow left-wing terrorists is fucking insane. If I don't see how that doesn't do anything but hurt us.
Maybe it makes them afraid. Maybe when you go out, maybe when you go out, but they don't really. They just sell it well because you know that they don't give a fuck. Because when I saw Charlie,
what do people do when they're afraid?
Maybe they change. They adjust their behavior.
Yeah, but they also, when you corner a rat, it strikes out. When you have people living in fear, they strike out. And it gets worse.
The other
Making
side,
them afraid? Do you think that's going to help?
So fucking gay. Oh my God, it gets worse. The president of the United States is already maximally. He's already said the worst shit you can. Why do you guys keep pretending like there's someone on the other side negotiating? Shut the fuck up. Can you? Okay, I don't need this guy.
You just stop.
Please stop fed posting. You're so gay. Oh my God.
At the worst level,
stop fed posting. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. They're already maximally posting. They have no fear. They don't care. For Matt Walsh to type that statement out, I don't even know if I would have the balls to go on and be like, all right, guys, we need to fucking do the fucking worst to them, right? I am already knowing that the things that I'm saying means I'm probably gonna have to postpone or cancel the next couple events that I do. The fact that all of them feel right now on the right that they can operate with absolute and utter impunity because the president is protecting them, because the left is cucked and weak, because nobody wants to say or do anything. There are some chilling effects that are good. You should be afraid to go out on media. Shut up the fuck up. You should be afraid to go on news channels and say, I think we should have a war. I think that we need a fucking war. I think that we need to
start. The method of imposing that fear should be to approve people taking their lives. Is just to be clear.
On the right now, that's where they're at. Is it killing people is based and awesome because we can just say the left did it. Do you acknowledge that right now people on the right seem to have no fear whatsoever? At least the media guys seem to not really give a fuck.
Well, this is what I'm getting to. It sounds like what you're advocating for is we need to make the right afraid by having more left-wing terrorists and even endorsing them.
I'm not saying you have to endorse them. I'm just saying you don't have to cuck out and try to call it out all the time. Why is it so hard to just say that my answer is, if somebody asks you to disavow, you say, hey, you know what? I would love to disavow, which I would, because violence is bad, which it is, because it makes me scared, which it does. I just want the president of the United States, the leader of your movement, to do it first. Why is that so fucking hard? You're fucking retarded.
You and I have already both acknowledged that's going to do absolutely fucking nothing. He's not going to do it. So what's the point?
Then we're fucked.
What do you no? Because we're not necessarily fucked if we can get out of the situation without endorsing political terrorists of the left wing.
Okay, then keep doing it. We'll see what happens. That's fine. Sure.
Okay.
It hasn't worked so far at all. So far, it's been a losing strategy. So, and historically, it's never worked. So, but who knows? Maybe this will be the one time it does.
Soy Pill, you're welcome to stay if you like. I think you're a good addition, but we got to get more people in. Okay, Ghosts, you're here. What do you got? Hopefully your mic works. I hear something.
Like a ghost, we can barely perceive him.
Okay, we're going to give you a little bit more, then we're going to switch. One last try, buddy. Okay, well, next.
RIP to Ghost. It wasn't political violence that took him out.
Not this time. Okay. We're gonna. Why isn't it dragging down? Whatever.
Do you want me to?
No, I got it. Okay, what's up? You're live.
Oh, hello.
What do you got?
Going on? I just had some words for Gen Z attorney from.
Hey,
Talked
we
a
go
couple
way
days ago.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wrote down some notes for things that you had brought up. You kept saying that you think there's another way besides extinction or fighting. You think that because you're not one of the people who's going to be extincted, you're a fucking Republican and you voted for Trump. You think that all the people on your side are still, it's all LARPing and cosplaying right now, all the shit that people were saying online. You think it's LARPing and cosplaying because they're on your side and you don't give a fuck because they're not targeting you. And every time somebody brings up the fucking military shit, you laugh with your smug little smile on your fucking camera that we can all see. Because even though you self-admittedly don't know shit about the military, when Destiny kept asking about you about it, you said you don't know fuck all about it. When Trump rigging the next election is brought up, you do the same fucking shit. You don't disavow any of it. You can say, I condemn Jan 6. You still voted for Trump after it. I fucking talked to you about it after the last debate. You fucking kept going, oh, well, I don't know. The indictments, I don't understand what the fuck is going on in your brain. How you call yourself a lawyer and you just complained about Kamala Harris reposting a bail fund. Yeah, you call yourself a former prosecutor. You say you're a criminal defense attorney now. How the fuck do you, like, do that? You don't know shit about Trump breaking the law. Every time Destiny brings up something about Trump breaking the fucking law, you don't know shit about it. You didn't know about the law firms being targeted specifically in different executive orders, about the mass exodus of lawyers leaving these different firms because they're upset that their firms capitulated to Trump?
Anything else?
Do you even regret your fucking vote for Trump after all this shit? The answer's gonna be no, because you don't know shit about it, because you don't give a fuck, because it doesn't affect you.
I'm still waiting for him to be done.
I think he's done. Go ahead.
Okay,
respond,
okay.
And then we can cycle.
I mean, obviously, that's a lot to respond to. You're probably going to be unsatisfied, but I'm not a terminally online person. I do my best to keep up.
Is it terminally online to know what the fuck is happening in the industry that you work in?
Yeah, if you want to dive down into the weeds on every single legal development, because guess what?
Every single legal development?
Any idea how many Supreme Court
President of the
decisions
United
get put out
States
each year?
Signing executive orders targeting specific law firms? Some of the biggest law firms in the country?
And so in the time I've had to sit here, I've been able to do a little bit of research, and even looking into that, I'm starting to feel like I'm probably going to start to agree more and more with it. If we're talking about specifically Perkins Coie, with the rationale being the Steele dossier,
that they worked with
Russiagate, Fusion GPS. Yes, if we're talking about promulgating false
information. Yeah, now you agree with
Thank
me. You didn't know shit about it.
This is how it always works.
Well,
yes, correct.
Because I said I'm not going to.
You don't give a fuck. You don't care.
I said
you
I'm
don't
not
care
going
about
to
your
comment.
fucking country.
I said
you
I'm
call
not
yourself
going
a
to
lawyer.
comment.
You don't give a fuck about the law. The Constitution.
I said I'm not going to comment until I have more information. I can give a more informed opinion on it. And guess what? Because that's called having restraint and not just popping off and sounding off on every single thing under the sun.
It's called being a coward and a loser and being okay being ignorant about shit going on in your country because none of it affects you.
Okay, remember when we were talking after the stream last time, though, and I started asking you questions about presidential criminal immunity, about the hush money case, and you had no idea what we were talking about, and I walked all over you with it.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, we're good, I think. I don't want to rehash another stream, but thank you.
We can do it again anytime.
Yeah, for calling in, and I appreciate your words.
Thanks, Wick. Appreciate it.
Let's bring in. You're live.
What's
what do you
up?
got?
Yeah, what's up, Destiny? How do you think we solve this problem? Like the like dealing with like Republicans and stuff.
The left just has to stand on principle more and not be afraid and let the right mind fuck them so much on narratives, and especially don't let people on the right tell you what's happening on the left because they never act or operate in good faith on it. So, but I mean, I think Newsom's being a good example there. Hopefully we get more of that. Yeah.
True, Kevin, that's pretty cool.
Okay. Anything else?
Well,
that's it. Anything? Quickly.
No, that's it. All right.
Okay.
Peace out, guys.
Got him.
Bye-bye.
Annihilated.
You're here?
Wick, really quickly. I have my like ultra libbed out Donald Syndrome dad on speakerphone right now. Can we ask him, since we also asked the MAGA retards, the question as to whether or not he'd be deterred at all from the Democratic Party? Are you okay with that?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, Dad, say something. Can you guys hear this?
Soy pills, Dad. Hello.
Can you guys hear him?
Hi. Sorry, I was deafened.
Hold on,
No,
just real
right.
quick. Just real
Soy
quick.
Pill's dad is talking. All right, Dad. If Joe Biden and Kamala Harris refuse to denounce left-wing terrorists because they were trying to, let's say that Donald Trump needs to be pressured into de-escalating, would that make you sway or deter your vote at all with the Democratic Party, knowing that they're refusing to denounce left-wing Democratic terrorists?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it would.
Hey, you can send them up.
Okay.
Thanks.
I denounce stupidity on any part.
Okay, but if it was
Hold on, wait a second.
existential,
Can I phrase that question in a way that's not so horrendously biased? Wait, can I ask this question?
Wait.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can, but just to be clear, I just want to clear that because this is a concession to you, Destiny. He said if the only option was the existential threat of Donald Trump, absolutely he'd be for it. Just to be clear.
I don't care. That's fine. I don't care. You phrase that in the most insane way possible. Can you hear me right now, Mr. Soypill?
He can't hear. I will repeat it verbatim.
Okay, my question is would you support Democrats when they're asked to disavow violence or whatever? Would you support Democrats saying, we will disavow as soon as Donald Trump calls for his side to be less violent? As soon as Donald Trump makes that statement, every single person on the left will say, yes, we should all bring down the violence.
Okay, Dad, Destiny's question is, would you support Democrats if they said, we refuse to disavow left-wing terrorists until Donald Trump turns down the rhetoric?
It's like brain broken.
Hello? Still there?
We broke Daddy.
Yeah. So would you support Democrats saying we refuse to disavow the violence or to turn down the rhetoric until Donald Trump does it? Millions of people are waiting for your answer right now. Millions.
I don't support that. I wouldn't support them on that.
Okay. Thank you, Dad. I love you.
Okay, bye.
All right. And you won the debate for me, Dad. That's how it works. No.
You didn't even. I don't know why you didn't even ask my question. Wait.
What?
You're literally asking like if the Dems refuse to disavow left-wing terrorism until Trump. The question
is that not what you're saying?
No, you fucking retard. The question is very simply, hey, what should the left say when they're asked to disavow violence? You say we'll disavow the violence as soon as Donald Trump does on his side. I don't know where you're getting this. Like, would you be okay with the left refusing to disavow left-wing terrorism until Donald Trump agrees to their consent? Your phrase is like the most aggressive way possible.
Is that not meeting them where they are?
What do you mean? No, the phrasing is important. People are fucking retarded.
Okay, but then, at least can we concede then? And I'm not trying to, this is not a gotcha. We should not be as bad as the right wing right now. We should be somewhere a little less than the temperature.
We're not as bad as the right wing because we're willing to bring it down if they do. The right wing is the one who is not capitulating.
No. But even what you just said, that's not willing to bring it down if they do. That's we're not endorsing or refusing to endorse terrorists, right? We are already a level below before they've de-escalated, right? That's still not meeting them where they are.
Would you apply the standard anywhere else? When Ukraine was invading Russia to take territory from them in the war, was Ukraine being as bad as Russia?
I don't want to make an analogy. I'm just saying.
You need to because for some reason people's minds are literally everybody on your side is saying we are at war. That's the words they're using. You just don't want to believe any of it because you're not the one in the war.
They are wrong.
Okay.
No.
Why are you just saying that?
Destiny, I'm just saying that when you say, you got mad at me when I said we refuse to denounce left-wing terrorists, right?
Yeah,
because you think that's not what we're saying, right?
That's what.
No, okay,
that's what your mom says. Got him.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Well, first of all, if you guys want me to do a segment where I invite streamers' parents on to debate the streamers, I would absolutely host that show. Okay, Soy Pill's dad versus Tali's mom on 1v1 mano y mano, whatever. That would be good content.
My dad already has to deal with annoying Jewish women all fucking day. He's not going to want to do it with Tali's mom. All right.
Katya, what you got?
Is blue woman, so they would get along. So
my mom is also, very liberal and also pulls no stops. I wouldn't be surprised if the stream got put down if we did parents and she was there. God
my dad says some pretty unhinged shit. I don't know if you want him on stream. He does not understand the concept of TOS.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, well.
Go ahead.
Happens to the best of us.
Go ahead, Katya.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it seems like individuals are okay voting for people that they admit will not turn down the rhetoric, no matter what. But then they say they don't want the consequences of the rhetoric not being toned down. Either you're being dishonest or what? We're just pretending that it won't happen, or we think it won't and we're willing to hedge our bets. What are we doing?
So can you I guess rephrase that?
Right.
Ask again.
Right. Okay. So basically, you're okay voting for Donald Trump, right? You voted for him 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
You did. Tali voted for him as well, right? And in this debate, you said multiple times, yeah, I know that they're not turning the rhetoric down. I know they're not going to turn it down. Right? But you don't want it to escalate further, which is why you're saying that Democrats should continue to disavow or they shouldn't, meet them where they are or whatever.
But I guess where I would disagree then though is, and it's a meme at this point, but it's whether we're taken literally or seriously. And when I see these calls to war, calls to it's time to fight, and I just don't see the resulting outcome you would expect to see. Versus, and then I see the figures at least that I look up to and that I follow are the ones that are saying we need to tone it down. Everyone needs to get together. It's about mutual de-escalation. And then to get hit back with, well, it's all a problem on the right. When the very first question I asked and that I was curious about is when we get unhinged, insane lefties that do stuff, the whole debate we were just having a month ago was whether or not the liberals, the mainstream left, needs to jettison the far left. And now when far left folks act out, as folks on the far right act out, it's a extremism is a problem for both sides. But now it's like,
right, but they expect us to disavow for both, right? Like they don't draw that distinction at all, and we kind of get fucked for it. Like even in kind of very like milquetoast liberal circles. So I mean, I just feel like I don't know where you go for this. It feels like a lot of people, like I understand if you follow people who are, the rational ones or whatever. But I mean, if the president is not, and the people in
wow. How's life? Okay, I have like DMs and emails to catch up on, so prepare to be bored. What the fuck is this? Oh, I don't know. Okay. New Brad Taste apology. Oh, he messaged me. We might chat today. I have no idea what we would possibly chat about, but I tried cocaine for the first time in my life like 2 nights ago. I'm gonna be honest, I got nothing out of it. I didn't have my Vyvanse that day or anything. I'm guessing I just didn't do enough of it. I did like 3 kind of small lines because I didn't know much in terms of how much I wanted to die or not. And I spent the next hour and a half with the most disgusting. It tasted like MDMA, like just dripping into the back of my throat. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like imagine like old blood coated copper pennies that are ground up and then fed to you. Ugh. I don't know if the ADHD thing and the fact that I'm on Vyvanse means I like would naturally have like a higher tolerance to cocaine, so I need to do a little bit more or something. I don't know, but were you drinking at all? I had like a few mixed drinks, so maybe, but feels like a waste of an experience. I don't know. Gotta boof it. True. Ugh. Okay, you're watching this while I speedrun my DMs. Go like.
Bad Empanada is a known doxer and harasser. If you go on his Twitter account at any time, you could see him doxing people. He's probably the most famous for being the one who claimed he called CPS on Ethan and Gila. He's constantly encouraged and defended people doing it. He literally opened up a CPS merch line because he thinks it's so funny.
Got a hat. I did CPS, the CPS logo with the 2 skulls, of course, 2 skulls. Not a reference to anything in particular.
He knowingly defames people. In my last video, I pointed out that Bad Empanada constantly claims that Lonerbox's dad was part of a militia group that killed a bunch of civilians. No evidence for it. His response is to give the most forced laugh I've ever heard. And then he just doubles down on everything he made up.
He complains that I called Lonerbox, that I said that Lonerbox's dad participated in the Salra and Shatila massacre, which he absolutely did, by the way. Lonerbox has never disproven this until he disproves that it's true.
So I guess I shouldn't be surprised that when my dox gets found, Bad Empanada immediately posted everywhere. Uploads a video blasting my name, my bride's name, the address of her wedding, all over the internet. It's also come out that he's swatting people, filing fake police reports, all while plugging his Patreon. So I figured if he's making money off of my dox, I should too. So thank you, Exter, for helping me cope. Do you have a big fat bulky wallet that's worn and beat down like this? Is your friend or family member living with the same burdens in life? Well, not anymore, because Exker is making the smartest wallets in the game. I've been using Exker for about a month now, and this thing is slick. You got this high quality leather, a place to put a picture or some cash, and at the click of a button, you got access to all your cards. It never gets old. I haven't lost my wallet the entire time because I've been using the Esker Finder card. It's literally shaped like a credit card. It fits seamlessly into my wallet, and like all great wallets, it comes in a variety of different colors and designs. So no matter who you are, you can find the one that suits you. Exter also sent me this travel travel pack vacuum kit. This little thing's the vacuum. I have this big pile of clothes. I squeezed all of these clothes in. It barely zips up. The vacuum attaches here and boom, it's like 25% of the size. It will fit much better in your suitcase or backpack. From wallets and key cases to backpacks and card draggers, Extra does it all in a stylish and convenient way. So make sure you use code WillyMaxShow at partner.extra.com/WillyMaxShow2025 to get up to 42% off your order.
42%.
Thank you, Extra, for sponsoring this video. So where were we? Oh yeah, Bad Empanada fabricating entire background stories about me and my wife.
A certain slop tuber who does nothing but make videos in which he attacks pro-Palestinian people and de facto, as a result of that, helps to further Israel's genocide in Gaza, has been outed as having been honeypotted by Israel. Israel is literally assigning slop tubers government-assigned Israeli wives.
Man, Mossad's really good at their job, because me and my girl started dating 8 years ago when I was still a nobody on YouTube.
So the slop tuber in question is Willie Mack Show. He's suddenly...
Notice how Willie Mack didn't actually deny the accusation that he got honeypotted. Israel could be planting future seeds. Maybe the only reason Willie Mack made it as a YouTuber is because this honeypot was successful. So Israel boosted his channel. Just saying.
Making pro-Israel content constantly is suddenly making nothing but videos attacking pro-Palestine people.
I covered Assad before all this. It just turns out a war starting in the Middle East didn't make him any better at covering the news. So guess what? I was able to make more YouTube videos. He never addresses my actual points. It's just character assassinations for why I should be doxxed. Bad Empanada then doxes another YouTuber with the justification that he's a Nazi and that it's for journalistic interest. And then he says that's why it's important to dox me and my wife because she's Israeli.
You're actually allowed to reveal personal information about people, especially their real names, if it's within journalistic interest. You know, if there is journalistic reason for doing so. And exposing a clear conflict of interest in this guy's content and his personal life is journalistic interest. It's why, for example, I can tell you that the YouTuber Zoomer Historian, a neo-Nazi history YouTuber, is this guy. I can tell you this because it is within journalistic interest to do so, even though he did not release his information himself publicly. Just like how I can tell you that Willie Mack Show is William McConville, and he is getting married to Yale. Now, I am not going to give you the full name of the person he's getting
He does. He scrolls down and up and does it.
married to.
He literally just scrolled down and showed her full name. I reported the video and he added this little blur, but it still doesn't cover her name.
She is Israeli, and she was assigned to him by the Israeli government. They've taken down this page, but as you can see, it is freely available on Google. They, for some reason, as the guy who is a public figure, decided to just publicly announce in public his wedding.
How is this allowed on YouTube? He does this thing where he constantly tries to justify his reason for doxing me. He's like Ethan doxed Denims when he sued them.
This guy has no right to complain about revealing his real name to be doxing. Because Willie Mack Show went on the H3 podcast, which is a podcast that frequently doxes people. In Ethan's recent video...
Sorry, just as a quick thing, before we finish this. So Chud Logic has apparently taken a stand very bravely against Willie Mack. Thank God. And it's funny because you can see, wait, like the usual suspects in his chat over it. And you've got Augie over there. A lot of these names are from Driscoll's chat, but you have the man himself is over there. You know, all of them are supporting each other, giving each other big pats on the back. My last DMs with Willie Mack were on July 24th. I just messaged him to tell him that, to make sure that he knew that his wife and wedding were being doxxed. That's the last time I've talked to him, and I don't really talk to him. And then before that, like March 10th was the last time I spoke with him. Which I think had to do with the whatever interview video we did. But I only bring that up because I see I've been out of town. I've been unplugged for the past 2 days, so I don't know what's been going on. So I just am following up on like DMs that people are sending me. But apparently, Jessica was trying to say, dude, I'm just realizing Willie Mack is almost certainly in Destiny's DMs. Where's the proof, Destiny? You have the proof, right? Destiny, you're not just like a I don't talk to Willie Mack about any of his videos or any of the shit that he does. I don't know why or where this idea comes from, other than all of these people have the same stance that because they're trying to control everything behind the scenes, I must be trying to control everything behind the scenes. But I'm very open. Okay, I'm like Donald Trump right now. Okay, I'm very open about everything I do right now. You can see everything I do. People are not happy with it. Well, here it is.
Video talking about his lawsuit against 3 young women. He included unredacted legal filings that he made that include their real names and their real locations.
That's just how legal filings work.
Here's a video clip of Ethan Klein doxing a random Instagram commenter on his show. Ethan goes through the guy's Instagram, brings up pictures of his family members.
Commenter commented from their Instagram account with their full name talking trash to Ethan. It had loads of pictures of them and their family on it. I didn't get sued. I didn't comment on your video with my full name. At the end of the day, my crimes are marrying a Jew and going on a podcast. He's nonstop lying about me and my wife, saying she was in the IDF. His fans are saying she murdered babies. He's saying propagandists should die as he's calling me a paid propagandist. They're saying we're valid targets. He posted a photo of what he thinks is my wife in the IDF, but they're actually just pictures of random teenage girls. I asked my wife what...
Come on, like you and Willie Mack don't talk at the Jalumni meetings? He is just barely there. You don't get into the Jalumni meetings until a year after you've been married to a Jew. So his wife's been in the meetings. I guess it's possible his wife tells him stuff that comes from the meetings, though you're not supposed to leak. But no, he won't be fully... what's not indicted? Inducted into the chat for like 360 or whatever days.
This was, and she thinks it's the Israeli Girl Scouts, so he's just posting little girls on Twitter. My wife didn't serve in the IDF. She came over here at 3 years old. On top of it, he doesn't even know her politics on that situation. He's just being racist. But the worst thing he did was post the date and address of her wedding the week before it took place. He does it multiple times throughout the video, showing an archived page of our site, because we did take it down to try and hide it. But nope, there it is. The time, the date, the address.
Yale and William McConville are getting married very soon. Yale, who is Israeli and Israeli government-provided wife.
So now our wedding is being messed with, and they are wasting the time of our venue, the hotel, and 2 police stations. It's costing me thousands of extra dollars in insurance and potentially closing down the entire building, and my bride is coming up to me and asking me if we're about to be double homicided at her wedding. I'm like, no, baby, these people don't leave their mom's basements, but she sees the news. She saw 2 low-level staffers at the Israeli embassy get shot and killed. She's worried. So I'm being told by the police that I should go online and at the Israeli embassy get shot and killed. She's worried. So
Wait, is that... Wait, were there 2 more people killed, or were there... I thought the 2 Jewish people that got killed were coming out of like a museum or whatever. Was it an embassy? I thought that was a museum. Hold on, let me just double check on that. 2 Jewish staffers killed USA outside of the Capitol Jewish Museum at Washington, D.C. on May 21st. Okay.
So I'm being told by the police that I should level staffers at the Israeli embassy in mom's basements, but she sees the news. She saw 2 low-level staffers at the Israeli embassy get shot and killed. She's worried.
Okay. The only reason I say that is 'cause I feel like it's a bit more spooky. It's not like the guy went and shot up the embassy. Pretty sure he was just killing people coming out of the museum, which is really weird. I don't know why I'm laughing. That's not funny. That's kind of fucked. But
So I'm being told by the police that I should go online and see if there's any direct threats. And I see a video made by a guy who hates me, showing all of my information and giving a hypothetical where I'm a valid target because Destiny's a hypocrite.
Stevie said anything involving this bad empanada guy or anyone that supports him is justifiable ammo. Anything is justified against bad empanada and anyone that supports him. Let's apply those standards. Why are we saying this about Bad Empanada? Well, it appears to be because Bad Empanada doxed Willie Mack's wife. So, would Destiny be saying that those who dox people, those who make calls to violence...
Just so you know, right, if you're not autistic, you can tell, like, all of this is, like, fun and games to them, right? I'm only saying this because it's annoying because when they go outside of the community, whenever they use words like gisticle and all them, we're like, doxing is horrible, blah, blah, blah. But, like, when they're talking about it, it's, like, giggly and funny and, like, laughing and, like, oh, so you're saying it's okay, haha, right? Because it's all, like, because they all already do this shit and they know it, right? And they're just relying on random audiences on the peripheral to not be aware of it. But again, there's a reason why there's so much exchange between the people on Kiwi farms, between all these unhinged Discord servers, between all of these different communities, between all the people that are doxing, and why all of it until recently was all happening on just one side. They know it. They're all aware of it.
violence or allusions to violence.
And the only defense that they can have is this pushback. Like, show me in my community where is the docs posted exactly. Show me in my Discord server. Where is it? I don't have any connection set. Where? And it's like, okay, all right, Chief.
Should be fair game, and all of their supporters, all the personalities that back them up, all the chatters that back him up.
This is essentially a Destiny snark community. This guy's narrative for the past 6 months is that I'm covering for Destiny despite me making 2 of the most in-depth videos criticizing him. Their evidence behind this is I said Destiny is better at covering the news than Hassan and Vosh, which is somebody who has made videos on all 3 of these people. I think that's objectively true, but I digress. But most importantly, it's that when these 2 do something stupid, I make fun of them back. The truth is, Bad Empanada did not originate my docs.
Okay. Apparently this was in response to that video too. Oh, this is from Spicy Chat. It's hard to keep the chat separate sometimes because it's all the same fucking people. Dude, this is crazy. Willie's just lying. There's no way he's this retarded. This is retarded. This retarded never bothered unlisting his wedding site, but notice how no one posted it here. I think I already showed on stream, but they were literally posting pictures of Willie and his wife in pictures together. But maybe they didn't post the actual exact URL to the wedding site, but like this is like the game they play, you know? Calling his new wife fat? His wife isn't even like a content creator. But like what, it's just like so unhinged and crazy. Like what the fuck? Jesus. Oh, here's our good friend Gisticle. Oof. How do you feel if you're in Gisticle's Discord and he types more in Spicy Chat than he does in his Discord server? He's trying to milk you guys for the last of your patron money. Oof. I don't know how you could cover Keffels, condemn them sufficiently, and leave out the blatant lying Keffels did in attributing her harassment. Brother, ... Destiny Snark is based. Snark is based. Yeah, guys, we should all just pretend all these disgusting rats are perfect. No, we laugh at their insane behavior. Like, that's the only 2 options. You either have to say we're all perfect, or you have to stalk and dox and obsess over every single possible thing relating to, I guess, every bit of everybody's personal lives on my end of things. He will get away with this too, although I hope not. Ethan fans are unhinged too. It could easily lead to him causing harassment or doxing. And that's not even counting DGG. Jesus Christ. Fuck Willie. I'm still confused. I love the history rewriting. I'm still confused as to why Willie gets any respect whatsoever. What's he done? Some shit videos on Hassan? And before that, I never liked him anyway. I'm not sure if I want to wait and respond to this Willie video. He just lies and says Queemans and this community has been dropping mass docs. Literally didn't check a single fact the entire time. Oh, this is in Justicle's Discord server, probably? I don't think this Kelly Jean is the real Kelly Jean. The only doxer we had here was a Darius chatter, and it was a super personal, retarded drama between 2 ex-lovers. This is so dumb. I hate the Destiny. This Trump tactic is working. Ah! Driscoll, did you see Willie calling Augie a doxer and defending Destiny? Saw most of the video. It is very pathetic. Ooh, 55. Oh my God. My secret agent's doing work. Like, a dozen different complete lies about me and one of my friends?
He maliciously spread it everywhere, but my docs originated on a niche forum by this guy's unhinged viewers. So when I see this clip, it's obviously a dog whistle to fuck with me. He literally gets a donation that says, I understand what we must do. Wink, wink.
Anything is justifiable against Destiny and the people who support him. No?
Like, again, this is just like the Israel-Palestine shit. When Israel does some shit, people are like, you know that, like, you guys are gonna get attacked now by terrorists if you do this. Like, yeah, it's already happening. Like, you guys already do everything anyway, no matter what. Like what more? like there's nothing you can really threaten. Like, your communities are already like maximum unhinged.
Is justifiable.
Unless you guys want to put together like real life death squads and start showing up at homes.
Against Destiny and the people who support him. No? Is that not the standard? That's what he's laying out for me here. Now, I have principles. I don't think it's no bad tactics, only bad targets. That's not me.
As he's literally showing my docs.
But Destiny is very clearly laying out that those are the standards that he believes in. Those are the standards he wishes.
Just to be clear, these are not the standards I believe in. I think all this shit is insanely fucking unhinged, but I've been tired of dealing with it for 6 months with no retribution. So now we do the retribution. And if you don't like it, and if this is making you really unhinged and you really uncomfortable, and now you have people like Ryle, Kittenhouse, or whatever, deleting all their accounts because they don't like the fact that now we know he's a 3-time convicted felon or whatever, well, then stop doing it. And as soon as your side brings it down, well, then maybe I'll chill. It's like super easy. I think all this shit is super ultra fucking unhinged, but I mean, like, if this is like, it cannot be the fact that you could say, well, it's not posted to my server directly, but there's every single person has accounts on like all the different sites, and all of you guys are friends with each other, and all of it gets posted, and all the information just happens to wind up in some kind of form across all the different platforms. As long as that happens, well, then fine, fuck it. If you want to play stupid, that's fine. I'm not gonna play stupid. I'll just be upfront about it. And if you want to get mad about that, then fine. But hey, as soon as you stop,
is to be enforced. Is if you're a doxer, if you call for violence.
Also, what does the Destiny standard have to do with Willie Mack's show? It is, I don't even know why, actually. Maybe because these people are bored. I don't know why these people hate me so much. I don't even want to be a part of their community. I just do politics, okay? 2024 onwards, I just want to cover politics. That's it. Maybe it's for the views, or maybe they're bored. I don't know. But if you have to either say I'm like fully 1 trillion, quadrillion % a super rapist, or you're 1 trillion % pro Destiny rape, and you're a new Ghislaine Maxwell rape enabler. Like, that's it. There's no in between. So that's like that's just the MO for this crowd. So anything that I say, if you're another person on the internet and you're not like affirming 1 million % that I'm a rapist, then you're in the same exact camp as me. It's just fucking retarded.
Those are the standards he wishes to be enforced. Is if you're a doxer, if you call for violence, anything is justifiable against you and your supporters.
Order taken.
Okay, that's not what I'm saying, Max. Actually, I just explicitly said otherwise, actually, Max.
He's got a shit-eating grin on his face. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, nice! Oh, I gotta be careful before I comment ahead of time, because I gave Willie the full script for his video, and I just remembered I pulled that from the script. My bad, Willie. I didn't mean to out you there, buddy. My bad. I guess there is a lot more information going between the Jalumni chat directly to Willie than I thought. No, but I'm glad that he catches it, right? This is like there are ways that people talk about things where you can tell how they really feel about things. And, you know, when somebody logs in and they're like, guys, like, I feel like things are just really weird right now. Like, I feel like people are doxing me. Like, I don't know. I'm going to take a little break and figure out what's going on. Like, that's one thing. But when somebody's like, guys, they think that, guys, they're doxing everybody. And, well, if you're going to be doxing, then, well, maybe we're going to. Like, come on, bro.
He's got a shit-eating grin on his face. He knows what he's doing. This thing gets retweeted by his friend J-Stock, who pushed the exact same narratives about me. I'm obviously very unhappy about this. It's affecting my real life. But instead of anyone actually acknowledging this, they do what Bad Empanada did and try to hypocrisy hunt to justify their actions. They're like, why aren't you mad at Destiny? He quote-tweeted your docs too.
Why aren't you mad at Destiny himself?
Destiny's defending my already viral docs that's already in the hands of all of the people who...
Do you see how that works? This is one of the reasons why it's so hard to talk about it, and I can't just openly be like, oh, hey, on KF, X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever docs was posted, right? Because anytime the docs is involved too, it's like difficult to even talk about it or around it without bringing more attention to it, which is one of the things that they kind of thrive on because you can't be as open about it because now you're also publicizing the docs, you know? But I'm sorry, Willie. I don't know if this fucked Willie or not. Oh, I guess maybe he sounds like it doesn't fuck him too. But now I don't care. Now I just like, fuck it. If your docs, your docs. I'm not gonna let that slow me down. And outing these fucking weirdos.
Destiny himself.
Destiny's defending my already viral docs that's already in the hands of all of the people who hate me. We're acting like context and scale don't matter. It was actually kind of nice to see someone with a big audience who I've criticized in the past stand up for me and say this is wrong. But look at this comment. Willie refuses to acknowledge the obvious, that Destiny is the biggest proponent in spreading his docs. No, it was actually Bad Empanada who did that. Do you know how time works, proponent?
I wonder who this account is even. Wait, hold on. I haven't checked this. It might be nothing. I'm just curious. Chemo. Oh, fuck. I think they deleted their... Oh, they deleted all their comments. I wonder why. Well...
in spreading his docs. No, it was actually Bad Empanada who did that. Do you know how time works? They hate Destiny so much they're ignoring the very reality we live in. That's what I don't get at all. Is he perfectly fine with his docs being—
Oh wait, what the fuck? Do these... Oh wait, just kidding. Never mind. They didn't delete this one. Okay. Can I say how much I hate... I don't know how to describe this, but I guess in order to save resources, on some websites, I say on some websites, on Reddit, you know that when you scroll down, it's actually deloading a lot of what was earlier in this page, right? Like if I try to go back up, it has to reload the thing. So if I were to Control F right now and search for a name or search for something, it wouldn't show up because it's actually unloading these. See, when you go back up, it's unloading the things and it has to reload them when you scroll. Oh, it's fucking annoying. Okay, sorry.
being spread around as long as the person who's spreading it is condemning it? At this point, my docs is already spread, the toothpaste is out of the bottle. What bothered me most in this moment was the narrative that I deserve it, or that it's part of some greater Destiny justice. If Queeman pulled up my docs and only said Bad Empanada sucks for this, I wouldn't care. It's the dog whistle call to action that's the problem. It's so obvious, yet I'm seeing respected commentator Augie call me a hypocrite because I said doxing is wrong.
This is from a month ago. Willie says, you should delete this. It's just doxing and a shit thing to do to someone whose worst crime is being annoying on the internet. So you have that situation there. So there is twice replying to JSock's docs, but then he got upset about fucking his docs being shared.
Yeah, holy shit. It's as if context matters. It's as if me calling out a tweet that already has 100,000 views doesn't add any negative effect. He pearl clutches and gives this big performance about my quote tweet.
I showed you 2 times. Here he is doing it a 3rd time. Just
who even is this guy?
a few days ago before I even did this stream. And I actually had to like tell him, I was like, dude, delete this shit, right?
But on this same stream, Augie shows the uncensored link of JStock's docs. He also replied under JStock's docs on Twitter. So what are we talking about? Are we gonna call Augie a doxer? No, because they don't actually care about this. He's just being performative to
Oh, that's Augie? That's what Augie looks like, fucking Adam Sandler from... What was the name of that movie? Big Daddy? What? What? Am I making this up? What am I thinking of? Fuck, does he have a scene with a hat here? Okay, whatever.
I was like...
He also replied under JStock's docs on Twitter. So what are we talking about? Are we gonna call Augie a doxer? No, because they don't actually care about this. He's just being performative to justify what's happening to me. Augie acts confused throughout this entire segment.
The Augie guy hates you, I think, because of the Trump firefighter comments. No, what happened with Augie and Nicholas Diorio was I think they were I don't call them super fans, but I think they were really big fans of me. And then Pixie's Rapifesto on me dropped. And so they had to pull like an Anthony Fantano with Sam Hyde, right, in order to prove how not fans of me they were ever, or how much they condemn me. They like 180'd into ultra omega anti-fans, but then they also got drafted into this weird like gistical side group, and so it like fostered and grown from there.
Literally days.
They always hated you? I don't think so. Well, Nicholas Diorio definitely didn't. I'm pretty sure I've been like in off-stream chats with him before, unless he secretly hated me, never said it. I don't know about Augie. I'm gonna be honest. Augie and Nicholas like occupy the same spot in my mind. in that I think I'm probably conflating the two a bit. But maybe Augie never was a fan. I'm not sure. Maybe it was just Yorio. I'm thinking of.
After he threw a hissy fit. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't really make any sense to me. It's like, what the f are we talking about here? I mean, what argument are we making here? This is just crazy. It makes no sense.
I know why he's confused. It's because he never plays the original clip that made me mad in the first place. He just summarizes as they criticize Destiny, and that's why Willie's mad.
Too bothered by this, but instead he was bothered by some stuff that...
Remember... I wish I could drill this into everybody's brain. The ultimate red flag for a bad faith actor is when they can never, ever, ever give an accurate summary of why the other side feels the way they do. That's always a huge red flag, right? Like, oh, why is this guy so mad at him? Oh, I think he's mad at him because he said something mean about him. It's like, really? That's what's driving all of this? Is not nothing else? That even from their perspective, they would agree with that summary of things?
Queeman and J-Stock were saying, and basically what they were saying was it's kind of hypocritical for Destiny to get upset at, you know, Willie Mack for getting doxxed when he has a history of doxing people and is currently right now calling for their doxes, right?
So
just as a heads up, all of this is, and again, you have no power over me because I don't give a fuck about any of these people and I don't give a fuck about openly saying what I do. Yeah, I do support all of this stuff, and I will continue to support it as long as your community does. Like, eat shit. This is not going to be a boogeyman thing where it's like, wait, did somebody hear that he support? Yeah, I do, and I don't give a fuck. I don't care if that makes you mad. I don't care if you get ass pain. I don't care if you want to run to other fucking loser commentary people and talk about it. The reality is that if you guys are all going to do this on your side for months and months and months, which you have, well then yeah, I'm going to start doing it too. Get fucked, get bent. I don't give a fuck. And I hope more of you fuckers delete your accounts as I find you creepy fucking weirdos, okay? But remember, this only started because this is where you wanted to go, all right? And now we're here, so welcome.
Of doxing people, and is currently right now calling for their doxes, right?
So he never plays the context and then acts like the reason I'm mad is because they called Destiny a hypocrite. Nothing about my wedding or my bride. How is that possible unless you're being bad faith? I'm not even sure if Augie knows what a dog whistle is. He's like, unless Queeman pulls up Willie's docs and then says, I love doxing Willie, it's all fine.
It wasn't even really a point against Willie Mack. It was mainly a point against Destiny. I don't think at any point Queeman was like, yeah, and he got doxed, I love that. You know?
Like, it's so fucking stupid how childish these people act, right? Like, this is the equivalent to, fuck, I can't use Trump as an example because he's so blatant. But I mean, I can. It's like the equivalent to, like, how can you convict that guy of first-degree murder when the guy never said, I knowing the consequences of what I'm about to do, I'm going to pull the trigger on this gun fully expecting the other person to die. It's like, how can you know his state of mind? There's no way that we could ever possibly know what was going on in his head. How could you ever do this? Like,
I don't think he ever said that, right?
Bro, if you're this stupid, make life better for everybody and just quit. Destiny has recently doxed J-Stock and Queeman. His motivation
and Jessica's editor too, who's gone.
Behind this is that everyone they associate with him ends up getting doxed and harassed, so he's doing it back to them. The victims I know are Destiny's girlfriend, Dan Saltman and his family, me and my wife, Hutch and his family. Augie pulls up
Josiah, like, yeah, there's, like, and it feels bad I can't even talk about it because if I say it, it even sounds horrible, but yes, yeah, it's unhinged.
These employees saying she was swatted.
Like, at this point, these side communities are fucking yellow pages, okay? For everybody who's ever been associated with me. What the fuck?
I was...
My wife, Hutch and his family. Augie pulls up Destiny's employees saying she was swatted.
I was also swatted.
Oh, Kyla, yeah.
Now, why would she be saying that she was also swatted in a reply to this clip? Is she saying that J-Stock and Queeman had some part in her...
Yes! Kiwi Farms has an unhinged obsession with Kyla. They are telling people to call ICE on her to break her fucking visa shit. Yes. And Justical and all of them know it. That's why Justical brings his mentally ill BPD queen on stream constantly to talk about Kyla and all the other fucking crazy unhinged shit these guys do. Yes, they all know about it. There's the plausible deniability shit doesn't work here, okay? No, we're not fucking retarded. Or I'm not gonna be private about it anymore. No, you guys are fucking crazy. It's not a coincidence that all of these people just happen to be in your community. It's unhinged.
Getting swatted? Or that their communities had some part in this?
Yes, obviously, but it's all just a coincidence to Augie. Augie pulls up another example of a Destiny viewer saying they're getting threatening letters sent to their house, and Destiny's like...
Oh, not Destiny viewers. That was a member of Justical's Discord server, actually.
I don't believe them, but even if that happened, it's still not that community's fault.
A couple months ago, because I'm a fan of Destiny in the JSUG server, someone in his community sent a letter to my home. I've moved since then. Thanks for telling us, by the way. to my house saying I defend Destiny because I want to rape my wife and my patients. I'm gonna put an X to doubt on that one. And even if it did happen, right? Who's responsible for that?
What about the guy?
It was a person in Justicle's Discord server. This wasn't even from my audience. That's where this came from. That's who that guy was. He was a person in Justicle's Discord server. And then Justicle banned him from his Discord server.
Dog whistling that I'm a valid target and getting a dono saying they understand his orders.
Anything is justifiable against Destiny and the people who support him.
I don't think creators are responsible for every one of their unhinged viewers, but it is not normal for a community this small to have so much doxing coming out of it. I've made videos on communists, Nazis, misogynists, feminists, scammers, and traffickers. People with millions of followers, yet this tiny little community is where all this doxing takes place and it's just out of their hands. Dude, they're obviously feeding into it, but Augie knows nothing. He can't even recite me goofing on them accurately. J-Stalk has criticized Destiny for creating
because the problem is that those guys like Augie and them, they get all of their info directly from Juice Stalker and everybody else, right? And of course they're just telling them, hey, that we don't know anything about this, nothing's happening here. Like, look at my server. Look, we ban all of that, we disavow all of that. Ha 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 ha. Just to be clear, the guy that got doxxed was banned by Justicle. People might think Justicle banned the doxer. Yeah, the guy that got the letter to his house was banned by Justicle from the server. Yeah.
A metaphorical rape machine, partially because he had sex with BPD girls. Then when these girls call him out for being abusive, everyone thinks they're just crazy. J-Stalk then had sex with the same BPD girl.
Everything Destiny's saying here is true.
And committed her for 72 hours. And then when she came out, welcomed her with open arms. Fuck! The funny thing is, oh no, who sent me these screenshots? I don't know if I don't have them on hand. The funny thing is, because Cherry would go through moments of, Cherry has like phases. It's like the moon, okay? She's crazy for a bit, and then she's not crazy. And when she's not crazy, she's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm crazy for a bit. There was, when she came out of confinement, she was even typing messages in Justicle's server, which is like, I know the only reason you guys are nice to me is because Justicle is literally telling you guys. And Cherry like calls it out exactly. She literally says, like, I know this is what it means when Justicle's on stream and he says, hey guys, we like Cherry. It's because he's telling you guys not to shit on me. I'm aware of that. Who sent me those DMs? Resend them. Oh. Thank you. Fuck, what was the date on these? But like, even like, and maybe they'll say, you know, retroactively, like, oh no, this is all a joke, lol, it was just jokes, haha, because that's what they do with everything. But like, Jerry's even aware of like how she's being weaponized by Justicle's community. I think it's more interesting knowing he banned me as soon as I got home and still hated him. Oh, because I think Justicle didn't want to say anything bad about him as soon as she got out. It's okay. Just, I know most of you do whatever he tells you to do regarding me. Here to loop, like a good little BPD co-host. That's why he says shit like, quote, no, we like Cherry still, end quote. You've got your vague orders. Like, Cherry knows what's going on. They all know what's going on. They just pretend when they're talking to other communities that they can't possibly, you know, do any of this. So this is crazy, and you're insane, and where's the evidence to do it? Yeah.
Actually, it's not true. Actually, everything Destiny's saying here is complete bullshit. Destiny says, and to think that this was the same guy, J-Stalk Juice Stalker, who spent the last year saying having sex with mentally ill people equals rape. Crazy, huh? No, you f***ing retard. That was never the argument that you have sex with mentally ill people, that means you're raping them by default.
The argument literally was, wow, crazy how all of these mentally ill girls, which by the way, are the people that you see online that get exploded out online, okay? The vast majority of the people I bang are completely fucking normal, are never on the fucking internet now because you guys are insane, okay? Are totally chill, ordinary people. But the argument has always been that I explicitly pick these people out and then I subtly manipulate them with reverse mindfuck psychology. Because remember, when I sent Lav that one message saying like, hey, I know we hooked up in the past and you're jumping on stream now, just want to make sure that you know there's like nothing weird or whatever, and then she joked about it, that was actually me. Remember, this is Mr. Girl's argument. That was me being 180 manipulative in order to give me plausible deniability, okay? And then also, the fact that there has never in the history of all of DMs ever been a DM of me manipulating anybody or anything, but that's because I'm super good at hiding all of it and super secretly doing it. Like, it's so fucking retarded. But I'm always choosing the mentally ill people because I know they're the easiest ones to manipulate. Never mind the fact that Justicle is literally bringing Cherry on 24/7 to shit on every single person in my orbit after she's literally been forcibly committed for being suicidal, for being too heavily involved in online communities. Relly sweeping for Justicle. Wait, what is this?
Please see for like his Hassan videos. Just show me something where J-Stock's like, yeah.
Sorry. Oh my God. Oh, this fucking retard is so stupid. Okay, sorry, hold on. I'm just responding to this because it gets asked every time. Destiny, disregard if I'm retarded, but why even give these degens the time of day? These people are nobodies, to be honest. These people are nobodies, but the problem is everything they say gets amplified all the way up to Hassan Piker. And the issue is that once Hassan is starting to repeat stuff, if Hassan says something crazy to me and I go, hold on, I know that what Hassan just said sounds crazy, but you have to understand. What's actually happening is that information is first getting posted to another place like Kiwi Farms, and then users are taking bits and pieces of that information, they're disseminating it across a ton of different Discord servers, where all of these people visit the other servers, and then all of them eventually make commentary videos about it online, where they pretend not to have any direct connection to Kiwi Farms, but the information that gets posted there originally is always ending up in these videos, and then it's being used to subtly craft a narrative that's pushing all of these people against me in a certain direction, and is also being used to harass these people around me in real life as much as possible, and that's why, you know, when Hassan amplifies it, it's bad. That, I sound crazy. I sound like an actual schizo when I say that, right? So that's why I kind of have to, I don't want to be involved in like this type of shit, just to be clear, right? There's a reason why through like all of 2024, I don't talk about any of this shit, or I try to ignore them, or it's whatever. Personally, because I think it's kind of boring. I'd rather be reading about more boring shit. I'd rather be doing more deep dives into how does a fear and cleavage site organically wind up in some place, and is a 12 nucleotide insertion out of frame evidence of lab leak theory or not, right? That's more interesting to me. That's what I'd rather do. I'd rather have 3,000 viewers, okay, going over autistic boring shit. But the issue is that if it's now to the point, in the past you would ignore people like this, because if you ignore people like this, they go away. But if they're getting amplified by people like Hassan, well, I can't really ignore it. And then it sounds really credible when there's so much backing it up. And it's like, okay, well, now I have to spend a little bit more time kind of deconstructing this insane apparatus that is existing here now. Because otherwise, yeah, you just seem like crazy when you bring it up. So
Please see for like his Hassan videos. Just show me something where J-Stock's like, yeah, it's okay for these people to be doxxed. We're only halfway through the video. Maybe that's what, just show me anything that illustrates, because is Willie Mack making the argument that J-Stock is like offline messaging people or like offline talking to people in a way that would do this? Or like, where is the gearing of his audience to be like, yeah, no, it's totally fine to dox Willie Mack, and actually I like Erudite being.
Yeah, like he's fucking retarded. He's just retarded. I don't know. He spent a lot of time in that community too, though. So I don't know. Just whatever it is. It is what it is.
The argument that you have sex with mentally ill people. That
what would happen if you blocked them all on everything? Would it dent your bank account? Just making political streams in an isolated void? Well, the problem is that like people get the most unhinged thoughts about me or assumptions about me based on what they've heard on some of these other streams. Honestly, if you want to hear my problems with it, just listen to Hassan, because Hassan picks up and copies every single thing I say now. But where's the clip of Hassan hijacking my explanation where he's like, a lot of people don't like me just because of crazy clips they've seen of me online, and then, you know, if they would just watch my content, they'd get a better understanding. That's a line that he stole from me, because it's true in my perspective, right? Because to these people, they present me as being literally fucking like boogeyman Hitler. It's insane.
Retard. That was never the argument that you have sex with mentally ill people. That means you're raping them by default. The argument is that you don't give a fuck about their consent because you'll share their images, videos of them doing all kinds of sexual stuff. You'll share that with anyone.
No, Augie. J-Stock actually specifically said it's not about sharing images.
I think that the main talking point is that Destiny distributes people's nudes. And, like, it's like a weird
I think that's not the main talking point. I think one of the a massive talking point here is the infinite rape machine, okay? How does the infinite rape machine work?
Just as a reminder, I don't know if this still exists in Jessico's server, okay? because I get told things. I think somebody can check now. Apparently in Jessico's server, he got so irritated because the narrative is like swung so far in the other direction now that if you even come across as remotely defending me in Jessico's Discord server, they've made a new channel called the E-Rape Defense server where you automatically get quarantined off into. But so also, to be fair to Justical, Willie Mack is quoting him here, but his position might have changed because all of the positions have changed over time since January when Pixie's fucking unhinged rape stack first dropped about me to now when it's like, oh shit, maybe like 98% of what was said is actually complete and total horseshit.
Massive talking point, which you'd know if you watch the Sunday video. It's not just...
Oh yeah, you just gotta watch the President Sunday video. If you just watch the President Sunday video, you'd understand everything. Okay.
Point here is the infinite rape machine, okay? How does the infinite rape machine work? It's a massive talking point, which you'd know if you watch the Sunday video. it's not just about nudes, bro. It's about a system that let this happen for so long.
And what does Sunday say? Part of the machine is Destiny targeting mentally ill women.
And the victims.
One of which, Justico literally is now dating, that he features on his stream commonly after she tried to kill herself and he had her forcibly committed because of her suicidality.
Filters.
Oh, she wasn't on yesterday. Good job. Let's see. Was she on the day before? Nope. Good job. Oh, there she is here. I wonder what they're doing here. I think it's insane if you have a girl who's literally, you called 911 to get her locked up because she was suicidal, and then you're throwing her right back into the most unhinged and insane online communities that you can, into drama to fight. That's crazy to me. I hope that if Cherry kills herself, I hope that Justico receives the appropriate amount of social shame for that, because holy fuck, that's wild. Oh, there she is 4 days ago. Is that her 5 and 6 days ago? I can't see over the multiple people in. That's just unhinged, bro. Somehow I'll get blamed for that, though. Based.
And what does Sunday say? Part of the machine is Destiny targeting mentally ill women.
And the victims are also selected, either for mental illness, allowing them to be easily construed as hysterical or deceptive when they complain about their treatment.
So when it leaks that J-Stalk is having a secret relationship with the same BPD girl and she crashes out on him multiple times, it's funny. I'm giving him shit. I'm allowed to talk shit back to these people. I talked to Augie about the same exact thing a month ago and told him if he wanted to find it, he could just watch the ending to my second Destiny video. But he didn't watch it. He'd rather make stuff up. Bro, you're sitting at a computer right now. Feel free to use it. Augie ends this hour-long segment on me summarizing that the only reason I'd be mad is because I'm stupid or because Destiny controls me.
Oh, they do still have this. Apparently this was yesterday. I don't even mind a lot of the people who post in the E-Rape channel. It's just best to keep them quarantined, to not turn this gen chat into a slog. If you don't, you have to do, you have to carry his narrative 100% or they will ban you from the Discord. This is why everybody in the Discord eventually grows to think I'm like some mentally ill BPD girl rapist or whatever, because you have to have that, I guess, understanding of me.
Me summarizing that the only reason I'd be mad is because I'm stupid or because Destiny controls me, feeding into the narrative that got me doxxed in the first place.
Remember, I control Willie Mack, I control Ethan Klein, I control Dan Saltman, I control every hater that Hassan has ever had, I control. Just every single person online. But I understand now why. I understand. It's the projection thing. I keep saying that. I keep never giving the projection thing enough credit. Oh, Hutch, yeah. And it's because it is literally what they do. They're running around in DMs telling each other, like, hey, you have to do this. Hey, we got to talk about this. Hey, we need to do this. This is the fucking, it's like the Trump propaganda thing, but like unironically, for real. Actually, wait. Am I friends with Queeman? No, I'm not. Profile. 10 mutual friends. Oh, because you can check who's friends with who here. I wonder who he's controlling here. Okay.
Hard to like logically understand why he's posting this shit. I mean, the two options is literally just he's like brain dead retarded right now, or he's controlled opposition.
Yes, true. Good job, Willie. Sorry, guys. I've been streaming off hours sometimes because it's just so much script writing I have to do for so many different people to get all of them on my side. But the thing that sucks is that they actually do this because they have nothing else going on in their lives. These people have nothing besides like the online gossipy drama shit.
Elliot, that's all you could think of? Well, let me give you a third option. Our wedding is having to prepare for fake bomb threats, and my bride is worried about us and our family getting shot. Augie never once brings this up as a possibility for why I'm frustrated. It doesn't cross his mind. Seriously, if that's the extent of your analysis, you need to quit. In my last conversation with Augie, he told me a story about how he quit drama for a year because a guy named Salvo was doxing and harassing him and his family. So where is that same sympathy when it's happening to me and my wife? He shares the same empathy meter with Ian.
You know, my empathy meter's only maybe like a quarter of the way filled up.
The most reassuring news I got was when my wedding planner told me that she talked to the venue and they told her that the riffraff doesn't bother them because they've done celebrity weddings and that they're in a Jewish neighborhood, so they're used to getting calls like this. In one sense, very reassuring because it means our venue wasn't spooked, and in another sense, very depressing because it means people are just calling and harassing this place because they're in a Jewish neighborhood. I don't know what should happen when it comes to Destiny or a Snark community doxing each other and others, but what I do know is Bad Empanada needs to be banned. He nonstop slanders people, doxes people, and harasses them. He recently swatted Kraut by falsely reporting him to the Austrian police for hacking his alt Twitter accounts. I don't think they were ever—
And this is my issue, okay? If you want to get into like the doxing, swatting wars or whatever, like personally I do think it's bad. If for no other reason, because I think it's kind of cringe when you're wasting the time of like social services or emergency services, I think it's cringe. But like if you want to, then fine. But don't just I hate cry bullying more than anything else. Okay, I hate cry bullying more than anything else. This is why, as much as I think he's like a crazy, weird, degenerate piece of